tonight, let's see if the ghosty ones can roll above a 2.
Dude, we're sure as hell try.
We need a D20 substitute since Roz doesn't have his lucky D20 out for us.
My dice aren't lucky, so I can't help
I don't
with
want to. Yeah, I don't want to jinx anything. We're just fucked.
Oh, 1 second. Let me fix a little bit of these cams.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like we have any like really important dice rolls to make today that will make or break how the campaign folds for the rest of us playing it.
I mean, it might.
Session, guys, calm down.
So in the last episode, you all finished your delve through the tomb, solving the puzzle. You guys collected Whale, the artifact. There were 2 ways to finish the puzzle, and you guys figured out the second one, which is the harder way to do it, which is cool. The first one.
There was 2 ways.
So the first one and the easier way, now that the game is over, is you know how you guys are being led through the dungeon by already open doors because someone went before you all.
Yeah.
So the door's already open, but then you reset it when you remove the crowns.
Oh.
Kind of a little funny thing. But you figured it out. You
So the
collected
door
Whale.
was already open?
Yeah, until you guys removed the
my
first
word.
crown. I was trying to like make it very unnoticeable, but kind of noticeable. But you guys fought through. You got Whale. You killed the Revenant. You killed the sadistic elf. Silas has claimed the Revenant weapon, which is sentient and speaks to you guys in a very condescending tone of the Dusk Elf King, Thyril. You made the long trek back to Lishkin Folly's fort. So we'll pick up as you guys are entering the fort after being gone for now 8 days. So the 5 of you enter the very familiar wooden fort to a clear skies, a little hazy above, but the cloud cover is not enough to dampen your mood. As you get closer to the fort, you can see the same usual guards are in their positions. The veteran elves, always watching, but very nonchalantly letting their presence be known, where the guards are like half watching, half kind of talking to themselves, cracking jokes. They let you pass into the fort without question, and then you see the red tent, the shield guardian standing in place, and you can hear Zunar talking inside the red tent to his other Royal College initiates. But ghosty ones, what would you like to do?
I'd like to roll perception to see if I can hear what he's saying as we're walking up.
Sure.
What did Zunar want us to do?
19.
He wanted us to explore and find the whale, which we did do.
Ah, yes. He just wanted to like research it a little bit, but he was gonna let us keep it.
That was, yeah, I think what we were discussing.
Right. Okay.
So walking up, Cilio, so you rolled a 19 crit, and you just pick up the very tail end of his conversation, and he says, I've been trying to contact Costas for almost a week now without anything. Should we send out a raiding party? Someone to find her? Do you think she's alright? And then you hear the Sightless Seer's voice. No. That's all he says. Zunar sounds a little defeated, but he agrees, and then you hear him say he's going to contact the Sightless Seer again soon. Then you guys walk into the other fort.
Ikanik is traveling on Yuska's shoulders.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Sylvia and Silas take the lead here, since they are the I think the ones that have the most attachments to these guys right now.
Are your eyes always like that, or with your new
Yes.
feet? Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell them what your eyes look like?
Yeah, sure thing.
That's rude.
He has dark vision.
Yes. Yeah, so Lucan now, you noticed after the last rest when you woke up, his eyes have an almost like palish white, purpley blue almost. Almost as though his eyes look like they've been, like a blind person, I suppose is the easy way to explain it, which is like milky white. But he seems like he can see fine, and since no one's brought it up, he hasn't brought it up himself.
Well,
He
nobody
totally brought
noticed.
that up.
Yeah, nobody told us till now. So I'm gonna ask you about your eyes. Hey, Lucan, what's wrong with your eyes?
Nothing's wrong. Merely Resmir seems to have noticed that being able to see in better conditions would benefit us all. Remember, not too long ago, we had to take extra rests because I could not see.
See, you have dark vision now?
Yeah.
Bigger than everyone's. He has more dark vision than anyone.
I can visually see the best in the dark now, yeah.
That's so cool.
Is it 120 feet? Yeah.
Damn.
Non-magical and
Yeah,
magical.
got some range on him.
Yeah.
Okay, well that happened.
Yeah, that was exciting. All right, I'm gonna walk into the tent.
When you walk up to the tent, the seal guardian puts his hand out.
I'm gonna just like go under his hand and be like, "Hey, Zunar."
Zonar looks up when you say his name. Let them pass. And the shield guardian turns to the side. Lets you step in. Stepping in, he has the mirror out, and you can see that he was just either doing some kind of scry or contacting someone, but he looks worried. And it's very visible on his face. But he looks relieved to see you all back. As you walk in, he says, "What, you've been gone for so long, what happened when you were out there?"
Bunch of dead things. The graveyard kind of thing with a bunch of claws. And then the Revenant King, which is now dead.
Silas, do you have the Revenant King in a bag or on your hip? You're muted.
It's on me.
I guess he's not dead. But...
He's on your hip?
Yeah.
Are these my new subjects? Says the whale.
No.
You've claimed the weapon. Amazing. Did you see Costas while you're out there?
Lucan's gonna do like a side glance towards Sylvia and wants to see how she's gonna lead that conversation.
Actually, we did. She's dead now.
Shh, keep your voices down. All of you into the tent, please, quietly. Emotions for everyone to step in.
You could probably get off Yusir's shoulders. That's great.
Iska slowly lumbers in behind you, the last one in. We must not let the elves outside know yet that she is gone, for their allegiance is with her.
Oh, that I didn't know. That would have been useful information.
This is D&D, fool.
Yeah, she was trying to actually claim the artifact for herself, and she tried to kill us in the process. So, naturally, we killed her.
That being said, Sylvia is leaving out the fact that she did attack us first. We did not initiate that battle.
I didn't say that. I said she tried to kill us.
Yes, but I want to make it clear that it's not our fault.
Well, fair enough.
She wasn't a good person.
She lusted for power?
Yes, she claimed that she was the next in line for the throne or something along those lines.
Yeah. Even though when we left here, she said she was coming back, we actually caught up to her and found her inside the tomb.
Yeah, because after that conversation that we had, I tried to speak to her many times and she never responded.
I believe Yuska contacted her a few times as well, and she said that she was still coming back. We were supposed to intercept her about halfway there, but we didn't.
These elves are very interested in reclaiming some information following Costas about the Olothine. You'll need some way to bind them, or we may need to set them free, or I'm not sure how we go about this.
Well,
Maybe-
they're attached to Costas. No doubt that they had some inkling of an idea of what she was doing. Perhaps Silas here might be able to do something now that he is the supposed king.
Yeah, perhaps they would follow Silas instead of Costas.
But he's not an elf, though.
But he's technically the king of them. At least what's left.
I mean, I don't think it's very good that a race is the king of another race.
I mean, that is what we're trying to stop in the Nevermore, so I won't agree with that.
Maybe we could just ask them. You know, maybe we could do some sort of voting system.
We could do that. I think if anyone's to ask, it should be the one holding the whale. As he gestures to Silas.
This could also.
You have me as.
This could also end up as a big fight once they find out that we killed her. Or we could say that we found her dead.
Murdered by the Revenant, perhaps?
Yeah.
Is an idea.
Well, that's lying, though.
Well, it's either that or we risk them all attacking us and.
Just we don't have to tell them, you know. Maybe.
I have to tell them something.
For the greater good? Says Zunar.
We also need their numbers to take the city.
You could look at Yuska, like, oh.
Well, as much as I don't want
Okay.
you. Just keep in mind you might have to walk into some shadows to get into the light.
What do you want to do, Yuska?
Well, little buddy, I think we need to figure out how we can get out of this place without dying.
Oh.
I agree with Yuska. And
Well,
Lucan
I'm not
knows-
gonna talk then.
That's right. And Lucan, that's the most inspirational thing I think I've ever heard you say.
Thank you, I suppose. It's nothing more than just Resmir's wisdom.
Boxcar says that. You just gotta listen to him. Silas. That's an option. You could try that, or you could try to make him take them too,
Okay.
because he is technically an elf in the blade.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to give Whale the elves, or tell them that the king's in the whale, we can try that. As you guys are talking, Whale Thyriel speaks. He says, is no one going to ask the king what he wishes? I am still the king. Till you have freed my soul, you are nothing merely but a transport for me, Silas. I am the king. I will control
everyone
these
hear
people. Yeah, talks to the whole tent.
Well then, King, what would you like to do, or do you have any suggestions?
Walk outside the middle of the fort, raise me high into the air, and I will speak to them, and I will take them into our new army.
I don't trust the weapon. What's to stop it from not just telling them to kill all of us so that he can be freed by one of them? I think the weapon should not get a say in this.
He's also not a good sword. Glaive. Nope, not that
Scythe?
either.
I am a
Scythe.
scythe. I think right now I'm two sickles. Zunar says, well, whatever we do, We must decide quickly because I'm sure all eyes are on our tent until we emerge. The longer we wait, the more restless they will become. They're already restless, waiting for her to return. And seeing you return before her is, I'm sure, going to make matters much, much worse.
Well, out of the options that we presented, what do you guys think we should do?
I think Silas should claim himself to be the rightful king.
The only way for me to do that is let the current king go.
Or
We don't have to go that far. Just tell the elves that, and we can worry about the other half later.
But if the sword starts talking, then they know that the king didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, because you'll have to show the weapon.
Can we leave the king here and then talk to the elves? Maybe. What if, like, does anyone have a scythe here? We could just bring the scythe to the meeting.
I mean, I could.
I think you're gonna find them looks like this.
the whale. I can fabricate a false one. I just can't guarantee that they'll all see it. We were lucky with the Revenant. The elves might be able to see past my illusion. And at that, Lucan will raise up his hand, and an almost identical copy of Whale would show up. For you guys, it'd be slightly transparent because you know it's not real. But I can promise you this: my illusion won't talk.
It looks nothing like me.
I don't know. I think I got the blade just long enough.
My handle is much larger and longer.
No, I don't think it was. I think you're just, you've been in that cave for too long.
How can you see anything? Where are your eyes? He could, like, kind of go closer to Silas, try to examine his sickles.
It's a good point, actually.
Because he's also a ghosty one.
I am the king of the ghosty ones, and soon to be king of these elvish people. If you will just raise me into the center of the fort, I will bring them to our side.
Tell us exactly what you're gonna say to them.
See, the thing about being a king is you don't know what you're going to say until you get up onto the stage, and then it just comes out of you.
I don't think that's how most kings function.
Do you know any kings? I don't know any kings. That sounds pretty right to me.
Well, I know
Can
the
I
leaders of the
insight that?
church, and they typically
You're gonna
have
incite a
plans.
sickle.
I'm gonna insight.
What features are
Sure.
you looking for? Sweat rolling down the page.
To see if he's lying about just standing up on the stage and saying whatever.
With an 8, the entire time that he's been in your guys' possession, he has always spoke his mind, no matter what crazy things that he said. So but he says, you know a king, Ikanik, you know me.
Oh, yeah.
So that is one
That's
king.
true. I know one king.
I mean, if you do not wish for me to speak, then just release my spirit. Let me pass on.
You may be a king, but you're not the only royalty in this tent.
He looks, there's a pause. There's royalty in this tent besides me?
Yes.
So then the royal person could stand out there in the middle of the fort and proclaim what they know is best for the people, how they would lead those people, and force those people to follow.
Oh, a lot of things have changed since you were, alive. If I were to go do that, I'd probably die.
You're also not very good at lying.
Well, either way, Silas or Sylvia, whichever of you wishes to talk to them, feel free to do so.
Oh, I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, I nor Rezimir have any connection with them. And with that, Lucan will walk out of the tent and sit on one of the logs outside.
So you said this is going to be an RP session, right?
When you walk out of the tent, you feel the eyes of all the guardsmen and all the elves watching you as you step out.
I'd like to point out my illusion of the whale is not in my hands at this point. When I left the tent, I just dispersed it. I don't want to walk into forcefully having that conversation with everyone.
Is the mirror that we talked to the site this year through still there?
It's out. It's not activated, but it's out in the room.
He's totally like going up to it instant.
You can
She
see
wants to
you
be
can see reflection.
examining
It's gold trimmed around the sides. It sits up almost a foot taller than you are, but right now it's just giving you a perfect reflection of the room.
it. Equid start like kind of fixing her feathers. Get distracted.
Yusuke goes. Starts to rub your fur, or knock your feathers down a bit.
No.
I'll help
She's-
you, little
she's-
buddy.
She's like, what is it? Pruning?
Brilliant.
She doesn't get to look at herself so pristinely so often. She's not going out of the tent.
Yusuke will stay with you. I'll just have him follow you around wherever you go.
All right, we're gonna. Do you want me to have control of his token?
I
I
mean,
could just like.
you can if you want to.
We're gonna at least be about 5 minutes late.
See if you can move him now.
Yeah, I can move.
So Silas, do you want to tell them about you being the king, or what are we doing?
Hmm.
Just raise me in the air and I'll do it for you. I know your palms are sweaty.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Is that the mom's spaghetti? On the floor in front of you?
No, I think it's vomit already.
I'm eating a cookie. Stop it.
Sorry.
Be a good caravan. Go out into the middle of the fort. Raise me above your head. And I will have people follow you.
Whatever you want to do, Silas, I will follow.
Yeah, just call him a caravan.
Actually, just gonna walk up to the lone elf here.
Okay, so you walk out of the tent and I mean, it's just like Lucan. You can feel everyone is just staring at you. And you approach the elf. Studded leather, very long bow on his back, very well made. And as you approach, he doesn't move. He stares at you as you walk up.
I'll ask, who does he follow?
The Lady Costis. What news do you have of her?
What if I were to say she went mad?
Say it again.
What if I were to say she went mad?
So she did.
So she did, like, he said that, like, he kind of expected it, or...
Well, if someone was to approach me and say she went mad, then I would expect it to be true. So, What caused this?
Don't know. Lust for power?
He stares at you. Make a persuasion with disadvantage. 11. I have known Costas for hundreds of years. Her entire life has been dedicated to finding the Olothine, and here we are, on the edge of the lost city, which we believe we were once a part of. So,
What has she told you about the whole time? Or what do you believe about the whole time?
I believe only that our people, the history of our people were lost, and we were here. We made an agreement with the college to be here to uncover what had happened. And I know that the deeper she went into the forest, the more frightened she became. And now you tell me that she has gone mad. Does that mean she is lost in the forest, unknowing? Does that mean she is dead? How do you know this?
What do you think?
Does that matter what I think?
Why wouldn't it matter?
I do see what you have on your hip.
Mm-hmm.
See, you got there first.
Actually, we didn't.
So you found her body.
Yes. She was self-mutilated, so...
Make a deception with advantage. $20. Was it a bad death?
I would say no.
Did she go mad from the thing that you carry, or from the place that she so longed to find?
I believe it's be the place.
I see. Well, I would like to speak to my brethren and give her some, at least a send-off of some kind, even though her body is not here. I don't know if it should be wise for any of us to go back near that place. I assume that it is because she is of a dusk elf. Because all of you are humans, and Ursus and Avis, Sanguis.
Is probably a fair assumption.
But tonight, upon the great fire, we will say our goodbyes. We will figure out what we must do from here, and you are welcome to join, you and your companions.
Alright.
I don't know, without her guidance, what more would bind us to this place.
you still want to find out what happened?
I don't know if I want to see it with my own eyes and share her fate.
Guess I should say, if you help us, we can have more time to figure out what happened to the people. To those.
I will discuss this with my brothers and sisters. Maybe you or your companions could say a few words at the burial, and we'll take it from there. This is much to digest.
It is.
He gives you a nod, and then he starts to walk towards the front.
Yeah, I'll back off back over here.
You see the elves, as he walks up, the elves from all around the rampart start to come together very, very slowly but gracefully. So you guys saw Silas walk up, talk to the elf, and then he walks away, and the elves are now like convening with each other.
All right. While Lucan's sitting there on the log with his book in his hands, he's gonna look over at Silas. And what are the chances of them attacking us in the next 5 minutes? Should I be worried?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Very good. I was getting to a very important part in my book, and I wouldn't want to have put it down so soon. And he'll go back to reading.
You think Yusuke would come out? Assuming Yusuke would just follow her.
There's only 4 on the map, but there's about 20 elves that come out together, and there's about all 20 are now talking amongst themselves. Very, very hushed tones in Elvish.
That's a lot more to fight. I was ready to only fight 4. Things like that.
So if you guys are able to, so you've opened negotiations with them. They're not a threat, but if you're able to like get them to join you in your fight, that's it's a unit card for Elvish veterans that you can have in the warfare battle that someone could command.
So what if I telepathically ask the king? What sort of proverb or something along the lines to rally them for us that I could speak in Elvish?
Tell them
or
you will. He'll respond in just to you, and he'll say to tell them that you will close the precipice of horrors forever and free his people from madness.
So I asked him that. Well, I guess later on when we do the bonfire, I just wanted to have him say it so I can say it in Elvish.
Okay. They are elves, and they are dusk elves, so they respond to very plain forward speaking compared to other elves. They're not flamboyant like those high elves, which we do not speak of.
You know what I just thought of, guys? We might have gotten Silas to bring all of those zombies with us to the city and attack the city with all those zombies.
I don't know how much you can control the zombies, but that is an interesting idea.
I mean, it's too late now. They're way too far away, but I only just thought of it.
I mean, Silas can always go alone and grab them if push came to shove.
Yeah, that's true. But then if it didn't work, then we'd have one party member away from our really long time.
Yeah, that's also true.
The Lich King.
Sit on that frozen throne.
The elves now are starting to spread out. And they all are getting closer to the bonfire. The sun's starting to set a bit. It's not fully night yet, but you can see them starting to make preparations around this bonfire. They're all putting very small little pieces of cloth, pieces of like leaves and trees, like next to the bonfire. Each one puts one thing down at a time.
What are they putting in the bonfire? Just wood?
Cloth.
Wood,
Cloth,
cloth.
thank you.
You get the sense that they're kind of like maybe things of Costas that they might have gave him, or like some kind of knickknacks that have some kind of meaning to them. But when you see him place the stuff, it's like one singular item that each one puts next to the fire.
Do I still have that vial? Dun.
You drunk one.
No, the vial of her blood.
I used it, but I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
still have it because I smeared it on the walls in hopes that I could get out of that trap.
Yeah,
I don't know if would I still have it? Just like a empty blood vial.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Ignik would step forward and put it down as well.
Yeah, because she likes fire.
Fire. They watch you do it, but they continue to. It's almost like each one at a time walks up and puts something down. Then
She would wait her turn. She would wait, and then she would, and then she walked.
some of the other people in the fort now start to come out. Zunar comes out with his acolytes, and some of the guards start to make their way over. The elves, they don't speak. They don't give any sort of like eulogy to her. They're very quiet, stoic race, but they light the fire, and the fire burns a bright red at the start. And then it slowly reaches out and starts to catch the offerings that were left next to the fire. And then it's strange that the fire, which was bright red, turns into this very dull purple. And it burns higher than what it used to, and it's reaching up almost 15 feet into the air as they just stand solemnly around it. Zunar looks over at the five of you, like a side glance. He gives you all like a little nod, like almost a well done acknowledgement nod. Now as the sun is set, it's dark, and this purple flame is just sprouting out from the fire, and the 20 elves, the 5 of you, Zunar, the acolytes, and some of the human guards are now just standing there, just watching this fire burn.
I feel like this is that scene from Star Wars where Luke back here at the end.
Yeah.
I suppose now would be a good time to say that to the elves then.
It was close the precipice of horror. Does anyone speak elf?
Yeah, me and Luke.
Okay, so you both understand what he says. He says in elf that he vows to close the precipice of horror if they will follow him into battle. Oh, I'm getting some Roll20 server stuff. You guys getting that?
Me too.
Yeah, so yep, just
Yeah, I
got
got
it.
that as well.
Too many people are awful.
Come on, Roll20. Make a persuasion check with advantage. Silas.
Also, as he says that, I'll go over to like Eek and Yusk and tell them what he said.
Oh, thanks.
It's a good thing I'm persuasive.
I haven't seen a roll yet pop up because this lagged so bad.
Oh,
What'd you roll?
19 and 21.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Likely story.
Well, I have a +6 in persuasion, so.
Yeah.
So good.
So they all look over at you, and you can see like a one unison nod at the same time, almost like they're a combined force. They all nod at you. Damn, I'm still getting it.
Yeah, my roll 20 is completely bugged out right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to refresh it while we do this. So I'm gonna go to RP mode while we refresh the roll 20s. Shabik. They continue to stand there by the fire as they watch the fire burn, and they watch it burn all night long. They don't move from their position as they watch this thing burn out, and they wait until it burns out on its own closer to dusk. Is there anything you guys want to talk about this night before you take a long rest? Feel free to do so. If not, once roll 20 stops being a dick, we can keep going. Worst part is the music.
Yeah, Lucan would want to at some point talk with Zunar about getting, if Zunar is not coming back with us, to get basically like a paper or a letter just saying that like I'm speaking for the Sightless Seer when I'm talking to Giles, because I plan on using Giles' tiny resistance to try and help us. Even just a momentary thing, just being like, hey, these guys are like on your side, listen to them.
This is agreeable. It gives you a small silver token, and the silver token has a singular beholder eye in the center of it.
I totally didn't just join a cult. We're all good guys.
Your second one.
I don't have a first. Resmir is far from a cult, thank you.
This is true.
Or is he? We don't know yet.
No, he's not a cult.
Resrick says, "Am I the cause of our bad rolls?"
Probably.
There
Are we
we
deciding
go.
what we're doing for the night?
Yeah.
Okay. Eek is totally walking around, trying to see if there's some sort of place where she can stock up on some vials, or if she can find somebody who seems to be making some sort of alchemy stuff. Probably in the kitchen.
So there's no one making like alchemy stuff. There is a couple guards that are cooking, but there is a when you spend some time kind of roaming around, they do have like a storage area,
Okay.
and there are vials in there. Quite a bit.
Are there people looking?
The elves are always looking. Now, if they care, that's a different story.
She'll walk in there. Not stealthily, but she thinks she is.
Okay.
And she'll take 2 vials.
You step out, and
And
all 20 elves are looking over at you. They don't move. They just look at you as the fire burns.
can I have these?
Sunar looks up. Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Dinar. Okay. And she would like scurry back to you, Scott. I'm going to the kitchen. She would scurry to the kitchen. If there's a kitchen somewhere.
It's more of a fire with a couple plates.
Is it
And-
outside?
It is outside.
Okay.
There's a little large cast iron pot, but there's nothing like a working stove or anything.
Oh, that's fine. She would go over there.
There's a guard that's over there right now, and he's like stirring this large kettle pot. He looks up to you and goes, "Oi!"
Hi. I'm Meek.
Ah, they called me Mad Max. He keeps stirring.
I'm next. What you making?
You want somebody's stew? And he pulls on a ladle and he picks it up. There's some chunks of carrots and chicken as he pulls it up.
Nah, do you know how to make some porridge?
keep
Gonna do,
stirring.
like, porridge.
But we have stew.
Okay, I'll take some.
He has this wooden bowl. He puts it. He goes and just drops some of the stew into you. Passes it to you as it steams.
Just walk around with the bowl, not doing anything. So, Max.
Yeah.
Max,
Yeah.
do you cook the whole time?
I drew the short straw today.
Well,
You want to know what we had
I
for
think-
dinner yesterday?
what? Stew?
Stew.
Yeah.
You know what we're gonna have tomorrow?
Porridge.
Stew.
Mm.
And for breakfast, leftover stew.
Oh, that's kind of sad. Do you need a new cook? Because I can get you a new cook.
Are you offering?
I mean, yeah, I know someone, yeah.
I would gladly never stir this damn kettle again.
I know someone who loves stir.
Is it
He's
close
really
by?
good at it.
Is it close by?
I don't actually know where we are right now.
Where's this chef? Where's this cook?
Well, he is enslaved in a castle that's kind of run down. And he yearns to be free, and I think it's a pretty righteous movement to go save him.
Seems like a lot to do just to get a cook.
Oh, but he's like the best. No, he's not. He really likes cooking. And he's my friend. His name's Virgil. He's kind of like my size, but he's in the air all the time.
He looks over at you. Make a deception check with advantage to see if he thinks that it's a good cook.
No, she totally lied. She was like, no, it's not.
Oh.
She took that back immediately.
Well, we can't travel very far from the fort, but if he comes here, I'd gladly let him cook our meals. Be protected. We don't pay, but to be safe.
She sips the soup from the.
Is it
I don't
delicious?
think you need it. It's could use some spices, Max. But it's alright. You know, it's good. It's okay. No, I think you know, he can't leave without our help. So Max, I'm thinking you come with us. We go get Virgil. We come back. Nobody even knows.
Those long-eared fellas, they know everything, though. Oh,
But we have the king.
don't tell him I call them long-eared fellas.
But they do have long ears.
You
I
said it,
have
not
like
me.
no ears. And she like feathers back.
I promise you, if it's in the interest of the sightless here, if you can convince old Zunar to free this cook, I'm sure it will be done, but unfortunately I'm a little bit short of the totem pole here.
What does that mean?
I don't get to say what happens.
Oh. It's not very nice. They should treat you better.
I stir the pot and I watch the walls.
Sound a lot like Virgil.
But not everyone can be. Ike's okay with racial slurs. In every village, every city, there's always one who makes the rules and one who stirs the pot.
I think you're right, Max.
Couple.
Okay, I'll talk to Zunar.
You do that, you tell him Max says hello. He hasn't spoken to me in some time.
Well, why don't I just send him over and we can have a conversation together?
No, don't want to draw attention to myself.
But Max, more people should talk to you.
Oh, I got friends on the walls.
The long ears or the short one?
Short ones.
Oh. Why don't you? Oh, okay, that's fine. I suppose.
It's a much better life to be here than to be in there when the Vita Colleen comes and they take some of us for blood.
What?
The Vita Colleens are the taxes from the Sanguis, like your friends.
Yeah, I don't have to go through that.
I don't know, you might be going through it soon. If you're chosen,
No.
you have blood coursing through your veins, you're alive. If you're chosen, they will take you. They will drain you.
They only eat humans, I thought. Because I'm just a little guy. You know, just little guy.
You definitely have less blood, but that big fella behind you that's kind of lurking in the shadow watching over you, I'm sure he'd feed a lot of them. Iska looks up. Ah! He's trying to stealth. Ah! I'm just looking out for you, little buddy.
That's okay, Yusuke. I don't think what you said was very nice, Max. But I'll still talk to Zunar for you. I'm gonna go now. I'm taking the book.
Iska follows you. You best want to do anything before the night's over and the next day comes?
Ike is going to write a letter.
Okay.
To Zunar. And the letter will say, Zunar. Is his name Zunar?
Zunar.
Zunar, good. Okay, so Zunar. We must protect Virgil at all costs. He presides with Zilri. Mad Max will help. He will become the new cook and help us save Nova Vaasi. Any questions? Talk to the king. And she would wait until he is absolutely gone and slip it into the tin.
You get close to the tin, the shield guardian goes.
You want to put this in there? It's a letter.
Turns his palm up.
Put it down. It's for Zunar. No, wait, hey, no, close it. Thank you. It's not for you, it's for Zunar.
He's standing there. Now he's just standing there holding the letter in his right hand.
Can I have it back, please?
Hands it to you.
She take it. Okay. Okay. She's gonna stealth around the tent. Do I have to make a roll for this?
Yeah, see if you beat his perception. There's passive.
Oh, no. Oh.
You beat his passive.
She'd stealth around and just like shove it underneath the cloth and then come pick it.
Okay.
And then she's done for the day.
Anything else you guys want to jump to tomorrow?
I think Lucan's good.
Okay.
I'm good as well.
So the next day comes bright and early. The large bonfire has started to basically turn into just embers, and the elves standing there vigilant the entire time start to disperse around the fort. Now the five of you are left. Zunar and his acolytes are in the tent, just waking. You wake to clear skies again. Getting some good weather rolls. Still a beautiful clear sky. You know you're a couple days ride out from Nova Vaasi, but collected your artifact and the day is yours.
Does Yusuke pray every morning or something? That's only clerics.
I think he plants a seed, just something that he does, but
Okay.
he doesn't pray, no. Unless he wants to pray, but he doesn't need to pray to get his stuff.
Okay. When Yusuke goes to plant his morning seed, Ikanik would just go with him and pray to the Aegis god. Just like just a greeting, like hello.
Okay.
I'm still here for you. Stuff like really awkward stuff in her head.
Are you close to Yusuke when you do it?
Yeah.
So he plants the seed, covers the soil. Then as you call out again to this Avi's god, a little, again, just like before, a little vine sprouts up, and then a little acorn just forms onto the little sprout. Again, just very slowly just reaches out, and then small acorn.
She didn't take the first one. She's gonna take this one.
Okay. As you're praying, you hear someone walking up behind you, and Xanthar walks up behind you, holding your letter.
Hey, Zunar, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, so I have a question about this Virgil.
Yep.
And he motions to Luke and Silas, Sylvia, as you guys are waking up. Please come closer. I have a question about this.
Question about what? Sorry?
So I received this letter last night about this Virgil that we must rescue, for he could be very important in the battles ahead, and I want to know...
Oh, may Razmir preserve us. Continue, I'm listening.
Well,
Sorry.
it sounds as like he's a very powerful chef and can provide some sort of nourishment to better our people and worth saving.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind, would I be able to read the letter that was given to you?
He hands it to you.
How well written is like the font,
There are
like the
some
face
misspelled
type?
words. There's a lot of misspelled words. Zunar is not spelled correctly.
I'll take it that this was Ikanik's penmanship.
Oh, she signed it.
Okay, then it is. All right. To some of us, Virgil seemed like a good cook. To others, he seemed more like a
Disturbance.
living clay blob. I wouldn't go that far. He was alive and maybe not a disturbance, but
Yeah.
A clay blob.
Well,
he,
he's he's alive.
he's alive, but he is a homunculus of Zillories.
He looks kind of confused now. So we should not do this?
No.
No, I think Max doesn't want to cook all the time, and I talked to him, and nobody else talked to Mad Max apparently. And Zunar, you should probably say hi because he said hi to you, and he doesn't want to be a cook anymore.
He kind of leans forward a bit. Which one's Max?
He's the one probably stirring the pot. Right over there.
He looks over. Oh.
But Virgil likes stirring a lot. And Max can finally live out his dream to probably be a soldier.
He's doing this Max fellow. I'm sure he does amazing work here at the fort, protecting everyone, providing great stew.
But you only have stew. Why not? You can mix it up and have some porridge.
Ooh, we'd need supplies for that.
Virgil seems to always know how to make porridge.
Ikanik, I'm pretty sure that's all he knew how to make, and at that it was dry.
Okay, but Max only knows how to make stew. So Max and Virgil are almost the same. And
If they're
Virgil
almost
is
the
not
same, why would you swap one for the other?
so there's more menu items.
You're not the one eating it, though. These
Does
soldiers
Virgil-
are.
Does Virgil come with the ingredients? Does he procure them himself?
Well, we could always ask him. I didn't ask it.
Either way, it's
How
going to
about-
take too much time.
How about the next time we see Zilri, you can ask if Virgil can join the fort here as a
She doesn't-
chef.
She doesn't want.
When we
I
bring
don't
the
have-
required, we'll bring the gold and whatnot to
Oh,
She said that there was what a cost for him.
yes. Like 1,000 gold, I think.
Well, I'm sure within Nova Vaasi there's 1,000 gold laying around somewhere.
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, then we can probably go grab some. And then we can bring it back to... If it's laying around, we could probably have just gotten it before we left.
Well, were you looking for 1,000 gold earlier?
No.
Ah, but now that you are, you might be able to find it.
Is it good?
Perhaps for now we should put a pin on it until we get back to the city.
I give Lucan like a head nod.
I'm calling it now. There's gonna be 3 or 4 of us trying to save the city, and each week is just gonna be trying to find 1,000 gold.
One pile of 1,000 gold, please.
I don't think Eek's allowed to control the were rats either when we have this war.
Zunar,
She's going to have an army.
he leans up a little bit and he looks at Lucan. Something in your eyes?
Nothing in them, no, aside from Resmir's light.
Did his light blind you?
His light enlightened me, actually. It might look like I've been blinded, but if anything, I see better than I ever have.
Interesting. He kind of nods. Okay. What is next for the ghosty ones then?
Sooner, can you start readying the army so we need to march to the city as soon as possible?
You want to begin marching in the next day or two?
Today if possible.
I thought we wanted to get intel on the town first.
We wanted to be there first, didn't we?
Yeah, but didn't we want to like have the army like pretty close by so they were basically almost started?
Oh, Zunar would parade the army around town to kind of cause a little bit of distraction, I think? No. Zunar
I thought
wants
we were
to
doing
parade
like a we
Sylvia
leave
around
today,
town.
they leave in like 2-3 days.
Oh, so yeah.
So that we get at least a couple days before like the army is like at the city, so we have some time to talk to people, and then we can like, well, look, they're here now. You should actually join us for real.
Yeah, okay. Out of character, like, what if this is a trap because we haven't talked to the sightseer, and what if he stopped in a will?
I briefly talked to the sightless seer. He is willing to give us his soldiers to help the city because he thinks he says we're on the same side basically right now.
Alright.
For
Does
now.
that mean that he'll take the city from us after we take it? I don't know. That's a future problem.
Yeah.
So we will leave in... You want us to leave in 3 days' time? That means we will be there in 6.
Sylvia, do you think 6 is enough to get most of the city ready?
Maybe leave one day earlier, but have them be like half a day out, like stop half a day out until we're ready for them to, because we can get Yuska to descend.
That is agreeable. There isn't a whole lot of cover for an army, but
I was gonna say stay far enough away that they're not gonna be noticed, I guess. Because you're gonna have the riders flying in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we want the city before the Bat Riders get into the city, right?
Yeah, that's why I
Okay.
want them to leave earlier.
Mm.
Just in case when we get there, they're like a day away. Kind of thing.
so make sure we stay at least a day away from Nova Vaasi. We should be able to stay there for at least, once we arrive, 3 or 4 days before we'll need to figure out more ways to feed our troops. But that should give us enough time to prepare and get ready.
Well, if things go according to plan, you won't have to be there much longer than a day or 2.
And we will take the city together.
We'll free our people.
It is terrifying and exciting.
Yes, yes, it is. Some of us may die. Some of us might not.
Well, either way, that's a risk that we'll need to take. But with Resmir on our backs, guiding us, no doubt we'll walk away mostly unscathed.
I hope so.
Gives you guys a very low bow. It has been a pleasure. Keep in touch. The next time you see me, I'll be on the back of my friend here. And he looks over the Shield Guardian. Shield Guardian's just standing there.
Hold up. He's going to be riding that into battle? That's amazing.
I'm excited to see that. I'm so ready for this fight.
So you guys are, it's a 3-day journey from here to Nova Vaasi
Okay.
at a normal pace. This is assuming Yuska goes horsey for a bit, Silas on the steed, and you guys travel together.
Yeah.
Yep.
So on the way there, is there anything you guys want to do before you get there? You got 3 days to chat, or like scavenge, message anyone.
Yeah. Ikenik would probably talk to Lucan. And I mean, she would talk to everybody because we're like all traveling together. Has anyone heard of an acorn god or an Avis god?
Not that I know of, but there's a lot more godlike beings than I originally thought possible. So it's within the realms of possibility, I suppose.
Do you think Ghelfi is a god?
That's the frog dude, right?
That's a squirrel.
That's the squirrel companion.
Oh, the squirrel, right, okay.
That
Well,
was a good catch.
the frog was not a god, so I highly doubt the squirrel was as well.
That was a god. That was definitely Kavla. And I think
you might think it was Kahwa, but I saw no indications that something as powerful as a Kahwa would have been was in front of me.
Well, let's see. But maybe Ghelfi's a god too.
Well, in order to get this conversation further along, let's pretend that Kahwa was there.
Okay.
If that was Kahwa, then perhaps that was more of his magical essence that he formed into a being. I mean, if the gods did create us, which makes the most sense, then maybe that is the first sentient squirrel. The start of
He
a new
did
race,
say he
perhaps?
made the squirrel for a companion.
Yeah.
Well, I think so. I was praying to a god because I wanted to know of an Avis god, and I keep having these acorns appear. And squirrels, they're not Avis, so I don't understand. But if it's Ghelfi, then I should talk to Ghelfi.
Well, it might not be them. Keep in mind, a lot of gods, their items of power aren't always what you think they'd be. It might make sense now because we're used to it, but what were the chances that Resmir's item would have been a lantern?
I don't know.
Are acorns important to Avis at all?
Not from what I can remember. But there weren't any acorns where I was.
Does your family live in trees?
Family is dead. But Yuska's.
Apologies on that,
Yeah.
but
So they live in the ground then, so to speak.
Yeah, we don't live in trees.
well, when your family and your village was alive, were you living in the trees?
No. We were living on the ground and we had little huts and stuff, and some people lived underground, but
Well, then I'm not too sure why, but I'm sure there's meaning behind it. Perhaps it might even be something as simple as the seed you're planting makes acorns, and that's their way of telling you that they do exist, is by making that plant grow.
I didn't think of that.
Maybe grow.
I'll check the seed.
Yes,
Yuska,
maybe-
we gotta check the seed.
Maybe buy some wheat seeds and see if an acorn comes out of those. Then you'd know it's an acorn god.
Okay. You got any seeds, Lucan?
Perhaps in my rations, but I think these are roasted and won't actually grow.
Probably not. Hey, Sylvia, do you got any seeds on you?
Same with like Lucan. I have some in rations, but they're also
But you don't eat.
no. But I have them in case you guys need some.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. Thank you. Silas, any seeds? Maybe, perhaps for your horse.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well, that's okay.
When we get about halfway to Nova Vaasi, I would ask Yuska to send Zilri a message.
Okay.
And get her to prepare her army and stay about a day's travel out of the city or away from the city and get ready to attack.
Okay. Yuska sends the message with the wand. And he tells you that Zilri replies. She says that she is ready. And she was getting very antsy, but she is on the way.
On one of our nights where we camp, Lucan would probably help Eeknik try and find some seeds.
Yay!
He's curious about this potential new deity or miscommunication between gods.
Cool. So you guys make camp about a day and a half out. Make a survival check or a nature check.
All of us or one?
Just you two. Or you could give one advantage. If you want to give somebody advantage.
I have a 6 in survival.
I will give her an advantage because I have a 1.
Okay. 23.
Oh, yes.
So you're a little ways now away from the Raven's Roost Mountains and the forest, but there is still enough tree line to, as you get up under it and start to search, you are able to find some seeds.
Can I identify if it's like a acorn seed? Oak tree?
With the 23? Yeah, a couple of the seeds are acorns. A couple are, looks like pumpkin seeds that have been strewn in from a farm that was somewhat close by, but there's a couple. What you would assume a couple are, you think, acorn or oak?
I'm definitely using the pumpkin seeds.
Kind of loud.
And then using the pumpkin.
An acorn better not come out of that seed.
Using the pumpkin seed, she would give it to Yuska to do his morning planting seed ritual.
Okay.
And she would do her silent prayer in her head, which is like, "Hello, Avis God, it's me again. Hope you're well. I have a friend here. Doesn't know if you're real. Are you gonna grow an acorn or a pumpkin? Thanks, bye."
Okay. You plant the seed, pat down the soil.
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Is this the first time it's happened since journeying? Like every day do I get an acorn?
Sure. Yeah. If you want, yeah, I can do that. You want to play one every night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or every morning.
Every morning?
Yeah.
Lucan, are you watching her play one every morning?
Yeah, I mean, my rituals aren't as long as the two of them, so I can probably have some time to watch curiously. Is it one of those things where every time it's an acorn seed it grows, but whenever it's anything else it doesn't? I guess that's. Are you testing that?
Yeah, because this is the first time I've like sought out seeds of my own. Yuska's been planting his seeds.
So Yuska does what he does in the morning. You plant the seed that you found. Lucan watching by your side. 2 days in a row now. Nothing has sprouted.
2 days in a row, nothing has sprouted?
2 days in a row in the morning. You guys are still there watching the soil for 10, 15 minutes and Nothing protrudes from the ground.
Look at what are you thinking? You gotta
Perhaps
think happy thoughts.
What? I'm not thinking negative thoughts.
Okay.
I was just going to say that perhaps your god is still young. Gods are what? A creature of worship and prayer, are they not? Perhaps they're using Yuska's already half-blessed seeds to help the process. Maybe your Avis god is still too young to grow the seed on their own.
Why can't I bless the seeds?
Well, if there's only one person believing in you, are you going to be as powerful as dozens, if not hundreds?
You don't believe in the god?
I never said I didn't believe, but I believe plenty of gods exist, but my only true god I believe in is Rezmir.
That's okay. Have this one. And she'll reach in her bag and pull out, or her pocket, and pull out the acorn for the first time. Well, the second time. And she would give it to Lucan. Have this one. And it's from the Viscod squirrel. What's his name? Fuck.
Jelby?
Jelby. It's from Ghelfi, maybe. Or name's got, of course, another squirrel. But
did Jelby give you this acorn?
No,
or is this just... Oh, this is from one of the earlier nights.
Yes.
Or mornings.
Before you were watching me. Maybe they're shy.
Perhaps it may be me.
Yeah.
Perhaps your god is just frightened of the idea of one as strong as Rezmir and being in its presence. Perhaps it's stage fright.
Are you natural, Lucan?
Well, I had parents that made me, and I grew in a village. If that's not natural, I don't know what is.
Well, I'm just thinking that Kava doesn't like you. And Kava is, part of nature. So if this Avis god is part of nature and doesn't like you, then there's a theme.
Well, if you really want, perhaps I can, tomorrow morning not be with you when you plant the seed. Maybe if I'm far enough away, it will grow.
Okay, but take care of the acorn, though. That's the only one I have.
I suppose I could do that.
Okay.
And I will put the acorn in one of my coin pouch. There we go.
So this would be the third day, and this is the last morning to get to Nova Vaasi.
Yep.
So you're gonna plant an acorn seed that Lucan had?
No.
Okay.
Should plant another pumpkin seed.
Another pumpkin seed?
Yep.
Next to Yuska?
Yep.
With Lucan
Yuska would do the planting.
close by? Watching
Lucan
from
is
afar?
gone, I think.
I would assume at this time I wouldn't be nearby, because I think Ikenik would just get upset if it didn't grow.
So does you and Yuska go out into the morning to do your ritual like you've done before? You plant your pumpkin seed. You stare at the soil. Little acorn pops out.
Oh, hello. I know you're not gone. Okay.
Was that an acorn seed or a pumpkin seed that you planted?
That's a
this time?
pumpkin seed.
Alright.
It's a god, Lucan. It's a god. Only gods can do such a thing. She'd take the acorn and she'd pat the soil and she's like, I know you're there. Okay, that's fine. We don't have to have none. She'd go back and she'd show Lucan, I got another one.
And what seed was it that you planted this time?
Another pumpkin seed. But it grew an acorn. This
Well, perhaps the whatever god it would be, god of acorn, god of squirrels, god of aves, is watching you maybe.
I think so. And Rezmir too, apparently. But I haven't heard much from Rezmir the angel these days. But that's alright.
Yes, perhaps that was from that ruined city. Some dark magics was there.
No.
Then what do you think it was, Ikenik?
Rezmir's angel.
Right, but no, what I'm asking is why do you think that they're not talking to you?
Oh. They're probably busy. Busy too.
That's a good point. There are a lot of us on this planet. Is it considered a planet or a realm? What do we call Erenel?
It's a planet.
Okay.
Are there more than one planet?
There is.
It's a solar system?
There are 3 architects, each made a planet.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
While you guys are off planting seeds, Whale, the artifact, is going to talk to Silas. Do they always gallop about like this? If you want to be king, you need to put your foot down and guide them forward.
I let them plant their seeds.
Just saying, if there's a time when it is between you and I or the seed planters, I suggest you choose you and I.
Out of character, I'd like to make it clear I did not plant any seeds. So he's not talking about me.
You're a sympathizer.
You guys mount up, ride into town. You get to town about mid-afternoon. And as you do, it's the same path before, the valley that dips. And you see the sheep flocks that are roaming the wispy hillsides, and a couple of human shepherds watching over them. Very grim looks on their faces. Going through the dirt path up to the road, the 2 Sanguis cards are positioned on the front like before. And then you step into the grim town on the human side.
Oh, wait. On the way there, I think Yuska would have sent a message to Noala to see where she is and see if she'd help. I wrote that in my notes.
Okay. Noala would tell him that she is in the Howling Hound enjoying some porridge.
Are we still doing the, seeking out the druids later? With Eek and Yuska to try to persuade them to join?
Not on your own, no.
No? Okay.
I think Yusko is wanting us to all go as a group later. I don't think he trusts them.
Okay.
So you guys make your way down the dirt path. Strangely enough, as you get into the town at midday, there is a even more minimal traffic than usual.
Can we do a perception check to see if we can see those signs to see if the tax is soon?
It's funny you should say that.
Not shit. It's already happening.
So as you walk into the dirt roads, everyone seems to be inside, and the blue house to the south here is the Howling Hound. But as you walk in, you notice 4 Sanguis guards are following behind the Burgermeister, Beltane de Moriel, as he walks ahead of the group. Just because you guys are pretty far away now, as you're walking up towards the Hound, as he's also looks like he's walking towards the Howling Hound Inn. The sense of entitlement, you could almost feel the snobbery that comes off him as he walks with his chest out, almost like he's leading a parade. As he has a long two-handed staff that he kind of clicks his heels with as he just walks past everyone. Doesn't look to the left or to the right. His nose in the air, and the Sanguis behind him walk into the Howling Hound in front of you. So they cut in front of you, start to walk towards the inn.
Before they get there, as soon as I can, how far away can I tell that that's him? That's the Burgomeister before he...
Oh yeah, as soon as you turn the road 400 or 500 feet away, as soon as you see him, it's super noticeable that it's him.
Okay. I'm gonna... Where's the entrance? Where's the front door to the...
Down here.
Okay. I'm gonna dash that way.
Okay, trying to hide yourself?
Yes, I'm gonna hide myself, and then once I notice them go in, and the rest of the party is kind of going towards there, I'm gonna go all the way around.
If you just suddenly ran away from the group, we'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I am running away, and I'm running like all the way over here, and then I'm gonna run all the way and go in the back door, essentially.
Okay.
Do we see his movements?
You see him take off around the side, and then if he stealths, you have to try to see him.
Except for Yuska.
Yeah, Yuska's pass is pretty nuts.
21 passive.
So as you guys are walking up, Sylvia just dashes away from you guys as the Burgomaster walks up the dirt road with the Sanguis guard. He turns and they walk into the Howling Hound together. And then you see Sylvia as he goes across the dirt road towards the alley.
Guys, where did Sylvia go?
Seems like she's planning to attack them. We should probably get in there before anything gets too extreme. Perhaps
The people that just got
Giles'
hurt?
resistance has been found out.
Who are they?
Not on our side. That much I know.
No.
And Lucan will kind of like do like one of those like white person half jogs to the inn. Like that awkward, like I gotta walk across the street, but there's a car and I don't want to take too long.
Speed walking.
You give him that Midwestern smile.
You have to stick your hand up for a second.
That half I don't do only because there's not actually a car, but if there was one, yes.
Are you going towards the front door, Lucan, or the back?
I'm doing the front, yeah.
So I would wander actually probably towards Sylvia's in the back.
Okay.
So basically, like when everybody's in and whatnot, and when we get in, I'm basically gonna stand like right here and just listen the entire time.
Okay.
And tell Camille not to alert anybody that I'm here.
Sure.
Okay, let's grab a table.
I'm going to sit with Giles.
You got it.
Eek would fall. I feel like Eek and Yuska would just be like, totally confused.
So you guys get in, and as you guys are a little bit delayed to when the Beltane de Moriel walks in. As you get in, the Sanguis guards have fanned out in the inn a bit and are just watching the room as the Burgomaster has pulled this large piece of parchment out of his pocket and he's hammering it to the notice board in the corner. You walk in as you just hear the hammer ting 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 with his back to you.
Giles, what is going on?
It would seem the Vidicalling is being placed.
As you know, I'm not from around here. What is that?
As you say that, the Burgomaster turns around in his very loud, presumptuous voice. In order to secure the welfare of the people of Nephistrad, ensure the prosperity of every Sanguis upon the land, and protect the peace of travel and trade in our kingdom, the decree I, Harlock von Lishkin, hereby proclaim that the Vidicalling will commence the 1% blood tax on the 14th of Narbalith. Population records are updated as of this posting by all the lords of the noble houses, including your own Frand. Every house is responsible for this updated populace and will take measures to prevent abdication. We see her when we gorge from her drink, not during caution or temperance. Could there be any clearer signs of the will of the Scarlet Walker? Signed, Harlock von Lishkin, the First King, Commander of the Pale Hand. He walks over to the counter afterwards and sits down, and the Sanguis guard kind of fan out behind him. He doesn't even say anything. Harvin just puts a large goblet filled with some kind of red liquid in front of him. He swishes it and takes a drink.
I just want Silas to see like the burning rage inside of me. Like he could see that I just want to attack them right now, but I know that it's not the right idea, not the right.
You hear those in the back. You hear the burgomaster. He spits. Your wine. That's why no one comes to this establishment that's worth a damn. This tastes like piss. He throws the wine in Harvin's face. Just he stands up. Come to the next godforsaken place, and they start to walk out together. The burgomaster turns. The Sanguis guard fall in behind him, and they slowly leave. As they walk out and as the door closes, the hush that was over the inn starts to get to this nervous chatter.
What is the date as of right now in the game?
It's the 30th, right?
Today is the 30th of Ivanith, so you have
We should have 14
days. Yep.
That's way more time than I thought we had. That makes it feel
Yeah, I mean, by like day 6 or 7, we should probably get most of our stuff done, so we have time to like set the city up if everything goes our way.
So this inn is just a hush, but people are slowly starting to chat. He looks a little nervous, but you're sitting at the table with him. Noala is at the counter. She's drinking a mug of ale. She looks disgusted. But as the two of you emerge from the back, Noala smiles at the both of you.
I'll smile back.
Not as I went past.
You can see on the notice board the large decree that's been nailed to it, and then there's two little smaller pieces that are like to the side a bit, but he's just placed his over like everything that's on the board.
Is there anything new underneath the board? Like from the last time we were here?
This is the current board.
The theater. Well, clearly we have to help Rand.
At some point, if they're still alive after we take the city.
Well, I'm not taking the city for some time. If we could do this in 2 days.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We are adventurers.
Yeah.
Adventurers. It's back to the Hound. So you all made your way to the Hound. You saw the burgomaster decree the Viticoline tax for 1% of the population. What would y'all like to do? It's still mid-afternoon, a little bit before supper time.
I think we should all talk to Giles.
What about Nola?
Oh, and Noel.
So let's do. So you guys are now back at this place. I think you guys are planning to do like a mini short, like time jump, like a couple days while you each had some stuff you wanted to get done. Take a quick break. Then we'll come back and knock out everyone's RP stuff. So chat will be back in like 2 minutes. We will see you soon. Yep, I was muted. I just waited for everybody to get back, and we'll get back into this. See how they're going to save the human population from being drained of their blood by the Sanguis and the vampire lords. Should be back here soon. See how they want to prepare themselves for a giant warfare battle where they're going to try to take the city over. Curious to see who they try to recruit this last little bit of time. What you got? Porridge?
And, it's
There's some good
Korean.
berries in it.
Yep.
Some good berry porridge.
It's Korean beef with onions and mushroom.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
We're almost ready. They have the option for quite a bit of allies.
Allies that will have to kill or will kill us at some point. You know?
Joe, you can't have my gnome.
I was going to ask, can I trade gnomes at least? Because you have the red and blue gnome, which is like the stereotypical gnome, and I want that. I have a yellow hat gnome.
Oh, I don't know how to do that, but sure.
This Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What gnome are you talking about?
I went to talk to Kaylee, and she's at Aaron's island, so Tyler's island as well. And he has a garden gnome outside his tent. I'm immediately like, can you steal that? She cannot steal it, is what I found.
So, you all made your way to the inn. You saw the burgomaster put the decree down. What would you all like to do? We can do this as you guys spend some time here, just like in the now, and then we could do like a individually what you want to get done and how many days you want to spend during your preparation.
Yeah. I guess we should talk to Giles first.
I think Yusuke would talk to Noala
Noala.
first.
Yeah.
And I'd be with Yusuke. So I would talk to Noala.
Do you want to have your thing? Do you want to do your conversation before we do ours?
Probably. It's not going to be very good. Okay. So we would head up to Noala.
Okay.
Excuse me.
When you get up to her, she's drinking some ale, but as she sees you approach, she kind of looks over at you and she kind of looks a little nervous.
Long time no see, Noala. How are you?
Only because you sent me away.
Yes, well, it was for the best. What you doing?
She shrugs.
Are you friends with Ziegler?
No?
Can
I'm-
I insight checker for nervousness?
Sure. I do appreciate that you have all ended, or at least stopped what was ever happening in her laboratory room. With a 19, she doesn't look nervous. She doesn't look nervous about Ziegler. She looks nervous about being next to you and Yusuke.
Oh, does she smell weird?
No.
No? Okay. I'm a fucking bird. Don't give me that face. Okay.
So have you
Yes.
come back now, victors of saving the lands, and
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
I think it'd be wise to get out while you still can before the tax collectors come.
we can't do that. We have to save people, Walla. Because we're good guys.
Are you?
Yes. Yes. She purposely repeated herself.
Are you making fun of my speech impediment? Speech impediment?
What?
I was just trying to help you all. I even took you to where she was. But you thought I was a bad person. I'm not a bad person.
I feel like you're keeping things from us. And that doesn't make me very happy.
Everyone has their own issues and their own secrets that they don't wish to parade around, and I'm sure you all have kept things from me.
When we were going to Zilri's place, you said goodbye and you looked really sad. Do you remember?
Was that after you told me to leave?
Maybe. Okay. Do you want to join the group? Is that what you want? Like I could talk to everyone.
I don't know. I've never been part of a group.
Well,
I feel more at home under the trees, under the stars.
okay, you could sleep outside with like Yuska and I sometimes. What can you do? Can you fight? Can you heal? Can you shoot with the bow?
I can do many things, but how do I know that once you're done with me, you'll just won't cast me aside again like you did before?
Because Yuska won't let me.
Make a persuasion with disadvantage.
-1.
Oh!
Oh.
Some good rolls. I have no desires to join a group and live inside an inn, but I know something is coming and I will be where I am needed to make sure that the land isn't harmed like it was.
Hey, Noala.
Hmm?
I do have a question. Do you know a squirrel named Ghelfi?
No?
Okay, what about Dunomar?
Do you know a squirrel named Ghelfi?
Yes.
Is he nice?
Yeah, from what I can tell.
And what was the other name?
Dunomar is a frog.
No?
It's actually Kava, but wants to go by Dunomar.
Kava, you met the god?
Yeah, we did. I know it's only the chosen few, but maybe you'll get to see him sometime.
Is this why you're nicer? You've been touched by a god.
More than one, but who's counting?
I would like to meet this Kava. And his little friend Ghelfi.
Yes, a squirrel. Ghelfi is a squirrel.
But once this is over, I go to where there's blight that needs to be purged from the land, so as long as our directions are in the same, we are allies.
He kind of looks at Yuska a little when she said that. And then was okay, well, I should probably talk to the group now. about this because I didn't ask them if you could join, but it's probably okay.
I understand. Goodbye, Ekin Yuska.
Later. Stop off the stool.
So I got Sylvia, Silas, and Lucan next to Giles. Giles leans forward a bit and rubs his hands together. So what news do you have? Because this is coming very quickly.
We have a bunch of good news. Your leader, the Sightless Seer, has decided to help us.
Excellent.
We have
So
his
now we need
entire
your
army.
Oh, well, my army is not really an army. It is mainly just the people of the city. Those that have been pushed down and forgotten. Bled dry. That is who we are.
And that is why you're so important. The city is nothing more than its people. If the people decide to change who they believe in, so will the city.
Exactly. We need every able person we can get to help us with this. It'll also minimize casualties.
They won't be much. Many don't have armor for themselves. They may be wielding pitchforks or wooden palisades, but I'm sure they will fight as long as they are not alone. But
They won't be alone if things go our way. The city's guards will be too distracted with the walls and what's on the outside, and that will have very little resistance on the inside.
Exactly. And we'll, by the week's end, we'll try and get them as many resources as we can so that they're not completely defensive.
they will need it. I'm sure there's a couple hundred that could at least fight, just to get out from under the boot of Ferrand.
Every one of them will count.
So
We'll have your... Sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll have your people from the inside, along with us, along with the Sightless Seer's army from the outside, and the Were-Rat army from the outside as well. And then any followers of Resmir that Luke in here will get, and any defectors that Silas will get, and I'm going to help you get more supporters.
Might be able to show the light to some of us, and I'm sure if Resmir is good, then they will gladly follow the light as well. There hasn't been light here for, I don't think, ever.
Resmir and his light will bless them, and hopefully that will be enough to have them side with us. That's why you and I were going to be working quite close together the next couple days. We'll be needing to get small groups of people together. Small enough that they aren't found out quickly, but large enough that we can actually get a large portion of the city talked to and on our side.
It's a good idea. Something to know is during these couple weeks before the calling, it is the job of the burgomaster to take a populace count, and he must relay this information to von Lichkin himself. And then the guards, they like to make sure that the populace doesn't move much so that the numbers don't fluctuate. Many people tried to escape and leave during this time, and Ferrand is still required to get the 1% of the population that the burgomaster has founded, so even if it goes under, that's more that has to go.
Would this burgomaster being mobile and visibly seen make it easier for us to move around the city, knowing where the Sanguis are, where they are?
It could help. I would expect to see more guards in the next coming days, if they're not out more already. They will be watching they'll be watching the gates closely now that the orders are placed.
That's okay. We shouldn't have to go anywhere near the gates.
Yes, we shouldn't have to leave the city from here on out. Do you have any underground connections between the buildings? Anything that's not easily seen?
Not much, but I do have someone that may be of interest to you. Although he might be interested more to you as well, and he looks over at Sylvia and Silas. There's a
Well, should we know?
There's a sanguis by the name of Zautek. He has an underground library, an alchemist shop that is in our side of the city that is easily accessible. He may provide aid. I'm not sure if he would want to stick his neck out during the battle, but he at least helps us during certain times when we need things that we can't procure from our meager means.
Then we should definitely meet him in the coming days. Ask him to prepare in any way he can.
I believe he's connected with the Silas here. I'm sure that he and Baron were friends, so it's something.
Every bit helps. We want to get all of this ready and together before the 14th.
Yes, this would not be easy. It's never been done before. Every uprising has been squashed or quelled by Harlock over many centuries.
No, this one will be different. We've got Sylvia here, and we've got Resmir on our side.
He's got us to face this time. Not just some measly little uprising. We have entire armies coming to the city to help us.
I hope so.
Well, let's not get too cocky. Just because we have the Sightless here on our side doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I'm sure Harlock has a bigger army than us.
Oh,
Make this quick
he does.
and clean.
Yes, once the dominoes fall in place and we win this battle, I'm positive that there'll be something else on the horizon coming this way.
Well, let us just pray to Resmir that once Nova Vaasi is freed, the other cities will see that they can do it too, and will distract them enough that we can fortify.
Precisely.
I am here to help as much as I can, especially since you've been blessed by the Sightless here and given his insignia. You're one of us.
Lucan does like a very quick head nod to that. He doesn't want to verbally say that.
Well, if you want to meet with Zhao, I can take you tomorrow, but whatever you need, just let me know and I will be here. You hear that, Harvin? Revolution. Harvin raises his glass. And you see everyone around you, they all raise their glasses too. It's a very somber, but a toast, nonetheless. And then they take a drink and they kind of just all sit there, kind of processing what's about to happen. So, ghosty ones, what kind of plans do you guys have for the next couple of days? Is there anything you want to get done that we can jump person to person and make rolls where we need to? Talk about what we need to figure out. But how would you guys like to plan your attack on Nova Vaasi?
I guess the first question is how many days do we want to prepare for?
I think 5 is a safe number.
I would say closer to half. So we have 14 days. So if we'd use like 6 days to prepare, 1 day to fight, and that gives us 7 more days to prepare again before the Harlock's forces get to the city.
Yeah, That gives us 7 days to either escape the city or fortify it, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be wise, though, to have some sort of scouting team? Like a signal, if somebody far off sees the army, they could light a bonfire, which lights another bonfire, and that way our person knows in the distance, like, oh crap.
Yeah,
they're
I
a few hours
mean,
out.
I think the easiest way almost to do that would have Yuska and you leading a group after we've taken the city, because you guys have message, you could deliver it directly to one of us without having to even let them know that we've
I don't have a
found
message.
them.
Yeah, but Yuska does.
But Yuska does, and you are also nature.
Mhm.
Was my thought. You can get them to the army without being seen.
Are we gonna help those farmers?
Hopefully.
I mean, if we have 7 days to prepare a city, I'm sure we don't need 7 consistent days of us being in the city. After we've taken the city, we could probably go there and help them.
If
While
we help
Giles
them, if we help them successfully, it would be easier for like maybe Yuska to set up a vantage point with to help them, me and stuff.
We just have to be careful how many times we're going in and out of the city.
We don't want to get in and out of the city until after we have it, because it's going
Yeah.
to be very hard to leave the city if there's guards making sure humans don't run away.
Yeah, exactly.
We're basically stuck in the city until the tax happens. Is probably what's going to end up happening now at this point.
There's the city. That helps.
There's the farmers that need our help.
They're outside the walls. They're kind of closer towards Raven Roost.
Oh,
Yeah, they're not in
So
the city.
they're
Yeah,
out of the-
yeah, they're not inside the city walls.
Also, they're towards the west.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so our side of the city, like our side of the river, is all the humans, right?
Yep.
The one with the
Where is-
Colosseum. Oh, go ahead.
Well, where's the alchemist?
He only told you that it was on the human side.
Okay.
The northern side is the nobleman Sanguis, and then the right hand side is like the middle class Sanguis. Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
If you want to,
So-
Well, I figured
here's Franz.
Giles and I will probably deal with the
This
What
is
is this?
Lord Ferran's manor. So this is what his house looks like. You see that balcony on the second floor here? This is where he comes out and gives his decrees because he's a shut-in. So if you were to assault his manor, you can see the 2 floors here, and you can see where he comes out to give his decree. Then,
So we need a small crack team to get up there, cast invisibility until he comes out, murder him, run away.
Let's hope he doesn't have like true
Where did-
insight.
You're asking for a lot of things here, Ikini.
He's just a nobleman. I don't imagine he'd have true sight.
It is D&D.
I know, but like,
You thought there was gonna be 4 elves? No, 20.
But yeah, I
I
think
mean-
what we want to I think what we want to do is we want to attack this thing, like his keep while the rest of the city's fighting. So like leadership's under, like,
Dude,
is that what we wanted to do still?
let's fucking
Yeah.
mortar it. We make some homemade
What?
bombs, throw them in the windows, light it on fire.
You're like half a foot tall. How are you gonna throw them into those windows?
The army. I'm also very good with the
well, the
bow.
army. But we know that as soon as the army attacks a city, he's gonna fortify his position, which is why we basically already want to be in there when it happens.
Totally think we still need to light the place on fire.
It's, I mean, hard to do because it's stone, but it's doable.
Oh wait. Jet fuel.
Yeah, because I don't want to end up having it where we take the city and then those 7 days is mostly spent with us just like sieging the keep in the center of the city and not actually building the city up, because that would
Dude.
suck.
There's so much water like in this town, this city, that what if we go through the water canals, like underneath with the sewer system?
Brews, is
So-
there a sewer system?
There's not one that leads up into his manor, but you could get close to the manor that way, yeah?
Can you tell me he doesn't have plumbing?
He just shits out that balcony. Those are his royal decrees every day.
He shits in a chamber pot.
Okay, what if we go up to the sewer system while, like, everyone's distracted from above, and we take care of the barracks, and we light the barracks on fire?
So a little funny side note here, I have a side mission that I have just up on the board yet, and it's to clear out a cave kind of close by. Just kind of funny that you thought of that.
Okay, so we want to have the military and the city kind of fighting while we're taking this. The keep is what we're looking at right now. We're all on the same page for that, at least.
Yep.
And we'll get as close to the building as possible using Econeek's sewer navigation. She'll have the whole thing mapped out.
I'm a natural explorer. I don't think I'm a sewage explorer.
His estate is 1 or 2. I can't remember which one.
2 floors?
1.
No,
Number
no,
1
no,
is
no.
his estate.
Oh, yeah, number 1's the estate.
Number 2 is the slave
Meat market.
Yeah.
Meat market, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The meat market.
Yeah, I think Lucan and Giles will probably spend most of those first 5 or 6 days talking to the human townsfolk on the western side of the city.
Okay.
Kind of just getting them into decent-sized gatherings, small enough that the guardsmen won't be too worried, but big enough that it's not just like me talking to 2 dudes every hour.
So are you like meeting with 5,
I
10?
would do something similar with Guile, showing that a Sanguis is, or an Ashen is helping.
Okay.
I almost feel like I feel like that would almost be more detrimental to be like, hey, we're revolting and the Sanguis is leading us, because then it's just like, oh, we're just gonna be in the same situation.
I mean, I can always tell them who I am.
They're peasants. They probably don't
I'm
give a
like
fuck
legit
anymore.
not like that could either be really really good because they'd be like, oh, another Harlock is trying to like overthrow Harlock, or they'd be like, oh, it's just a family feud.
Yeah.
I don't want to get involved into this. It's like literally it's like 50-50 how I don't know how they would take that.
Yeah,
Your
that's true.
persuasion rolls, probably.
Now,
I have good persuasion, I think. Yeah, I have pretty good persuasion. I have +3 on it.
But you're a Sanguis, so they'll probably make it with disadvantage.
I
have
think
+3 on it.
I'm not.
I think what you were saying earlier, Tyler, about you and Silas dealing with the Sanguis would probably make more sense. Because I'm
I think Yuska
What?
should be with Lucan.
I both agree and disagree with me. And so I think Silas should do it by himself, because if anybody has any nobility recognizes me, we're basically screwed.
well, you wouldn't be talking to nobility. You'd be talking to the middle class, because it's the middle class that's probably the most shit on Sanguis.
Oh,
They're just
were we gonna
normal
do something
people.
with trying to find dissent in the middle class, higher class, like somebody who wants to overthrow the dude?
yeah, basically. Yeah, I'm sure the middle class Sanguis aren't 100% happy either, because they're not.
I
The
almost
ones
kind of
who
wonder
stand
if
up for free.
Sylvia should find an alchemist.
Yeah, I can go back to that.
Good idea.
Because yeah, we have the
Yeah.
alchemists, the humans, the middle class Sanguis, finding a way into and breaching the castle, and then that's 4 things. Is there anything else we're missing?
Well, Yuska's not here to say what he wants.
Is he still in chat?
No, is it?
He might not be.
Because
He's
he can
green.
map out the sewer system. Or try to.
And
He's
the chat
green
says
on this
it's there.
card.
If he says anything on Discord, I can't see it. Just if he does or not. You have to read it to me.
I kind of want to go to the stable. In the 12.
I mean, we have like 6 days, so we have plenty of time to do
Yeah.
basically whatever we want.
Chat with my other elvish friend at number 12.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing, so.
Alright, so who wants to go first?
And
Step up to the chopping line.
I mean, the alchemist sounds like the most interesting thing. I kind of want to see that happen first. If
All right,
that's
yeah,
cool.
I can go first. I don't mind.
Alright. You just can make what decision? They're planning out, Raz, what they're doing with their like 6 or 7 days before the final battle. So they're setting up their line of stuff. Let's do the alchemist. So who's going to the alchemist? Just Sylvia? Or anyone else going?
I think it was just me, but Giles is taking me.
Alright. So Giles leads you north a little bit towards the docks, towards the northern inn. He leads you into this room. It's a very rundown, small shack. Going into the shack, it's a single room, but there's a very large bookcase, and he goes up to the bookcase and he slides the bookcase to the side. And he says, down the stairs, Zautek. He's very particular and only allows one person to go at a time. But I'll be up here if you need me.
Sounds like he's social distancing.
This is
2 squares away.
As you go down, you can hear the bookshelf sliding past behind you. You go down this long flight of stairs, which opens up into this very cavernous, dug-out cellar. In the cellar, there's bookshelves that surround the place. There's these old bones of stuff he's collected over time. There's different types of jars filled with different alchemical reagents. And sitting behind a desk at the very bottom of this is a sanguis, bald. He has some scars on his left cheek. And you notice so the center thing there, the eye, the large symbol of the eye is also in this room. And from your experience, you're not sure if that's the eye that would be for Amadun, or if that's the eye that would be for Oriax. But it's definitely one of the Pantheon eyes, just how Zautek would interpret it. But as you walk in, down into his chambers, surrounded by all these different dusty tomes and books, he sits right on his desk and he looks up as you approach. He takes he has these very long fingers, and he puts his elbows on his desk and he waits for you to approach.
I'll walk up to him and say, introduce myself. I'm Sylvia. Giles said you could possibly be some help to me and my companion.
Remove your hood.
I'll remove my head.
Sylvia von Lischken in my quarters.
That is correct.
Working with the Sightless Seer.
And some other companions, yes.
What can I do for you, Miss von Lischken?
Giles informed me that you also have some misgivings about everything that's going on here. So I was wondering if there's anything you could offer to help us overtake the city within the next couple weeks.
You will attack the city and claim it. For yourself? For your father? For the seer?
For the people. We need an uprising. My end goal is to take down Harlock. But for now, I will start with one of his noble houses.
Are your people the Sanguis still? Or are they the humans?
They're still the Sanguis. Just not under Harlock's cruel rule.
He looks at you, he's inciting you right now. I was cast out many years ago, I think before you were taken. Oh, I know your story very well. So, here I have stayed. I am a man of goods. I have much I can offer, much I can provide. Typically done with coin, but these are desperate times, and you are not the ordinary customer.
So then what is it that you require from me and my companions in order for this to happen?
He rubs his hands together and his fingers. You can see that he's thinking. I don't want power. I don't want notoriety. I prefer to stay in the shadows. Salad fingers. But I don't want to see another person rise who will just beat down the people once more. But I can see our scars are much more prevalent than my own.
I can definitely promise that.
7 days is not a whole lot of time for me to create scrolls and potions, but I can provide a couple consumables for you and your companions.
Anything that could help us is all we need. Anything you can provide.
Make a persuasion check. Is pretty good. How many companions do you have in this battle?
There are 5 people that I'll be working with closely, but we have at least 2 armies coming to the city, and we're hoping to get as many people in the city to uprise as possible.
How much are you willing to give of yourself to have the power that you'll need?
What do you mean by that exactly?
Well, I can create some consumables for you and your party, but I also can give you much power at a cost. And he holds up this very large heart. The heart taken from a Balrog. It's a very difficult surgery, but I will place this inside your chest cavity. You will gain its power and its curse.
And what might its power and curse be exactly?
I'm gonna pop up the card for you.
Yep.
I hate this because I know Sylvia's just crazy enough to do it.
Depends on what it is. If I'm gonna die in 3 weeks, then obviously it's not worth it.
Alright.
Not wrong, I suppose.
So this is what the heart looks like. You see it on the Twitch? You want to look at my Twitch
Oh.
things, yep.
Okay, hold on. I closed it because my internet was...
Okay, give me 1 sec. I think I can throw it in. Shoop. Oh, it has to reload.
That's pretty metal.
Because there is metal. Huh.
Ah!
Ha ha ha.
Alright, I'm uploading it now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Very good. This is some solid music for this. I hope you guys can hear the music.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's big.
Ooh,
Very large.
that's big. That was little.
There we go. So it's
That
called
looks rather interesting.
Heart of Damned Intervention. So what it is he cuts open your chest, pulls apart your ribs cages, and he puts this in there. And once you are attuned to it, it's a magic item. Once you're attuned to it, you could not get rid of it without the wish spell. So there's a small glimmer of good heart in this demonic heart. While attuned to the heart, you have resistance to fire damage, and you can cast Hellish Rebuke as a 2nd level spell at will. So every time you get hit per turn, per round, you can cast Hellish Rebuke. As an action, this is called Channel Damnation. You point your finger at a creature you can see within 120 feet, and you speak a damning curse. The creature and all creatures within 10 feet of it must make a charisma saving throw or take 1d12 fire damage plus your character level, as chains shoot out of the ground and bind them and burn them. So it's like a big AoE spell.
That's so cool.
The curse is, this heart can only be purified or destroyed by a powerful celestial or deity, and attuning to it turns your alignment to evil.
Oh no! Fuck, he was halfway there!
When you first gain this heart, you take 15d6 necrotic damage, which will probably kill you.
Oh
And you have to be res back up, and it leaves chain-shaped scars across your chest, like the ones found on the heart. You are unable to attack anything that is abyssal or infernal. With this, you get disadvantage on the attack rolls.
It's amazing.
So it's like a big curse, but so it's a give or take.
It's a good story.
There's a chance it might kill you, but it's a chance that you're gonna be strong as hell.
You should see if they can res you when you die.
As long as I don't take double my health. Or you take
That's
double your health, you instant die, right?
I think so.
Yeah, but you're fine though.
You're fine.
That'd be so shitty.
So you.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to do this.
So what are the perks again? Sorry. So he has Hellish Rebuke.
So you get Hellish Rebuke as a 2nd level spell at will. So you can cast it as many times through the day. You have resistance
That's actually
to
really strong. I'll let you know that.
Yeah, it's
on
so
its own.
good.
yeah. You get resistance to fire damage.
Also huge.
Channel Damnation is a once per day. You point your finger at a creature within 120 feet, and all creatures within 10 feet of it must make a charisma saving throw. If they fail, they take 1d12 fire plus your level, and then chains reach up out of the ground, and their movement speed is halved.
All creatures. Not even just like
All creatures,
3.
including
So
you guys.
us included though.
Yeah, you guys are included.
Fuck.
The curse is you take the damage, you become evil.
He's already evil though.
No, I'm chaotic good.
And you,
Chaotic something.
you
I was
have,
chaotic
Yeah.
evil, I'd literally kill everybody all the time.
It's like
Give it,
that now.
give it to Silas, see how many damage things he can deal with.
No, Silas with this would be terrifying.
you have disadvantage on
lose your soul.
you get disadvantage on every attack
I can
against
put my
devils
soul in
and
the whale.
demons.
That's a tough decision, man.
Yeah, no.
Also on Discord, I sent you Hellish Rebuke so you can see what it does on its own.
Yeah, I looked at it. Thanks.
Okay.
Oh man.
So he's just there
I'm gonna.
holding it. Make your decision. I will just need a few hours to perform the surgery.
Do I need to make my decision right now?
No, of course not. He puts the heart. It's a very large heart. It's a Balrog's heart, so he puts it into the jar again on his table, and it's just sitting in the middle of the table.
I mean, Tyler, if you want, we can RP another section of tonight while you think about it.
I might even wait till the beginning of next session.
I think that's a good
depending
idea. You're gonna need like somebody with you.
Yeah, I will need somebody with me to res to bring me back up. At the very least.
So this item is made by Griffin Saddlebag, and I'll link it to you. His Reddit post of it.
Cool.
It's awesome.
Well, I need to talk to my companions and see what they think about this. And I will need someone here to resurrect me if I were to die during surgery. But I will come back and let you know my decision as soon as I know.
This is agreeable, young von Lishkin.
We plan to have everything set in motion in 6 days. You could produce as much as you can, and I will come back to collect that stuff before it starts.
Just one final thing. He pushes forward a piece of parchment on his table. And he holds up a quill.
Yes. What do you need?
For the procurement of these items, as many items as I can make in 6 days to help you and your party, you will sign this. That you will not take my home from me once you have risen to power.
Deal. I'll sign it.
He
You didn't
wraps
even
it.
ask what his home
Didn't even
is.
read it.
Is his home
You
where you are
trusted
now?
him.
Okay.
That's so. Oh my god, it's
Too
so
late,
Where,
cryptic.
where is your home? Is this your home? Is this what you're referring?
Yes.
I love it.
I look forward to filling your heart with a new one, young von Lishkin.
I hope the fine print doesn't say that his home's the Harlock Keep.
Well, the 14, he seems to be telling the truth. There's nothing
Yeah,
there's no giveaways or anything.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and sign it then.
You already signed it.
As you sign it next to you, just the with that large heart in the vase.
Terrifying.
He rolls
Don't
up
get
the
on
parchment.
that next week. Please don't. I can't handle it.
I look forward to watching this battle from a safe distance. And just remember, you do not know that I am here. I'd like to be left alone.
Not at all. I was never even here.
And if you have enough coin in the future, my wares are for sale.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm a little short right now, but I'll keep that in mind.
He bows. My queen.
I'll bow back. Thank you for your time.
And he gets back to, he's starting to write on his paper again. And that's what I call heartburn box cutter fly. So as you walk out, Giles moves the bookcase and you walk out to see Giles. That go well?
A lot better than I thought it would, to be quite honest.
Good. He pushes the bookcase back. So who wants to go next?
I think Inks is gonna be pretty short.
You want to go next?
Yeah.
So what are you trying to do? I think Yusuke's with you too.
Well, Yusuke's gonna be finding some druids. So Yusuke can be with me for a little
Yusuke
bit.
said he was gonna look for, what he said?
Druids, and he's gonna do healy things.
Okay.
No, he's bring the lower middle class people and do some healing.
So, first thing, Eek is going to, please assume every day she plants a seed behind the Howling Hound in dirt. One day in the beginning, she goes to Harbin. Is that his name?
The innkeeper?
She goes, yeah.
Yep.
She goes to Harbin, and she asks him if how much Vincent is.
How much what is?
Vincent, how much is he?
You want to buy my ox?
Well, I was just thinking that with the, impending battle, Vincent can serve a wonderful purpose.
You're not going to cook him, are you?
No, I don't either.
Oh, okay.
And I like Vincent, you shouldn't eat your friends.
50 gold.
Well, I actually don't have any money on me. Yusuke holds my money. Could Could I pay you later?
When you pay me later, you can have Vincent.
I mean, does he get fresh air though?
Of course.
You let
Although,
him outside?
we open the barn doors, and it's not the best to let him just roam around in here. Someone may take him. The sanguis may feed on him. It's best to keep him close by.
Okay, I understand. Just a little concerned. I'll be back.
I'm afraid I won't. I'm not much of a fighter, so rest assured that during your war, I will be protecting Vincent and be away from this place.
Oh, that's very good, actually. I'll go talk to him. If you don't mind.
Yeah, he's in the barn.
Okay.
You walk to the barn and you see Harvin kind of lean back and he's watching you, sorta.
Doesn't notice. Hey, Vincent.
Nuzzles you.
Yes. Low animal. I think I'm gonna have a primal awareness. Does that let me talk to him? I have an innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit.
So it's not like having a conversation, but you can like get ideas to each other.
Okay. I try to ask Vincent, do you want to be free, roam in the grass, eat where you want to, travel with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, okay. Well, if you had to choose, Harvin, Ekenik.
Yuska.
Ekenik? That wasn't an option, but okay. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, Yuska will be with us. That's great advice, thank you. I will relay this to Harvin. Yeah, no, I'll be back. Just like pat his leg. Okay. Let's go back to Harvin.
When you walk out,
Okay,
he goes.
Harvin.
When you walk out, he goes. He says, "Come back."
She comes back. He sounds distressed.
Starts to nuzzle you.
She'd like gently scratch his neck and behind his ear. Oh, it's okay, buddy. It's alright. I'll be back.
So when you walk away, he's just sad. He just.
No, I can't leave. Harvin.
I got the cute Ikanik Avi's getting pets, and I got the Sylvia putting demons in his heart. Just back to back. Harvin's behind the bar, wiping the bar down. You come back.
Harvin, he's lonely.
I heard you moon in there. I could hear you talking to each other in there. I heard the loud moves.
Yeah. No, well, he doesn't move, but you know, he's lonely, Harvin. You should like have him around in the inn, maybe, to talk to people.
You're the only one that's ever talked to him. You and your large companion.
Well, maybe that's because he was never given a chance to talk with anybody.
Because most people don't come around this place unless they're beaten or abused.
Okay, I'll tell you what. So, clearly, Vincent is in distress. I would like to take him for a bit off your hands, just so his stress can be lowered. You know, he has a sense of freedom and happiness. And, you know, if he wants to come back, he'll come back.
Are you stealing my ox?
I'm not stealing anything. I don't steal anything.
Make a persuasion.
Oh.
You can take him out and ride him through the streets. Just it's for his safety that he's indoors when night falls.
All right, we'll be back. Yes. Do you have a saddle?
Yeah, there should be one in the barn. Don't know if it's your
Alright.
size, but may work.
Could you help me put it on him?
Sure.
A little small.
So you guys go in there and you put a saddle on Vincent. It's a very large saddle compared to what you sit in, but so there's now a saddle on this large bull.
Okay. Does he have? I assume he has reins.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. You can equal sit on. Somehow.
So you're sitting
And
on his
she'll
back.
ride him out.
Make an animal
on the
handling
barn.
check with advantage. 15?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you and he walks out with you. You walk out into the street. On the back of Vincent, a couple Sanguis guards walk by and they look.
I stare at them. Very proud.
And they nod and they just start to walk. You see them start to whisper at each other.
On the dogs. We're just walking. Okay. And I explained to Vincent how I need to do some research of the sewer system because we're going to go into battle in a little bit. A few days.
Okay.
So we'll go through I would assume we would follow the river, try to find some access points through the river. And then she would try to swim in.
Make a. Do you want to spend like all day looking around?
Yeah.
Make a perception with advantage.
Okay.
13. So you going up and down the side of the. You stay on the human side as you kind of go up and down.
Yes.
Towards 17 on the map, which is where the Weary Sailor Inn is. Kind of towards the north of the docks there, you can see there's a little passageway built into the wall there that you hadn't noticed before, but since you've really looked at it, you can kind of make out there's a small cave. Though there's nothing coming in or out of it and it's very dark, but there's a small cave by the Weary Sailor. And then there's a couple of caves under the Burgomaster's house, but from your vantage point, you're not sure if those are just like small caves or if they're part of something more. But there's a couple entrances under on that large cliff face because the house for the Burgomaster sits high above the whole city.
Okay. I would tie up Vincent. I'll tell him I'll be right back. Kick anyone who seems dangerous. I'll be back.
Okay.
Don't talk to anyone. It's dangerous. And then I would jump into the water and swim to the cave.
It's very cold, but the current doesn't move too fast.
Oh, good.
You slowly doggy paddle towards the cave. This river system is much deeper than what you originally thought it would be, but you make your way to the side of the cave. There's a couple smaller entrances on different parts to the far east and the far west. Big enough for you to fit through, but for an average human-sized person, it'd be sort of tough. They'd be crawling to get in.
Okay.
And then there's a larger one, but it's up about 30 feet up the rock cliff. That you have to climb up the rock cliff to get to that cave.
Okay, do I hear anything in there? Do I see, like, anything? Like, it's a sewer system or right now just a hole?
It looks just to be caves built inside the side of this cliff. You don't see any type of sewage that pours out.
Okay.
But you climb up to the big one? Or you want
No.
to check out the small ones?
Into the small.
The small one on the left, as you put your head in there and you look down, it's tight. But you could probably fit through it, and you think maybe Lucan and Sylvia might be able to get through it, but it'd be a little tough. But it's beyond Silas and Yuska, and the
Okay.
Yuska would shift. But you don't hear much. The cave looks to be purely like naturally made.
Alright, then I'd go in.
Okay. Start to belly up, crawling through the cave. You get about 100 feet into this cave. And then there's a sudden opening, and it looks like it's a drop off that goes down. And as it drops down, it opens into this larger cavernous area, and there's water below.
Regular water?
Looks regular water, yeah. Chill, black water.
How far is the drop?
Almost 45 feet. And then if you go over the hill, over this hole, which the hole is about 4 feet wide, the small cavernous area continues deeper into the mountain too.
I would like to go over the hole.
Okay. You keep your distance over and catch a couple of rocks, and a couple of rocks fall into the hole, and you hear a couple splashes. And after that splash, you hear
What?
this loud rumble that echoes through the bottom of this cave. And you
Does
look,
it sound like a living thing?
something living, some sort of large beast just growled and groaned. And then you hear something jumped into the water.
And that's from the hole
Yes,
that went down.
that's from the hole that dropped down.
I am terrified. Okay, but continue.
So you're gonna keep going down the cavern?
Yes.
Crawling through? Going over the hole, keep crawling through. You crawl and you crawl and you crawl. You go about another almost 250 feet on your belly. Then it starts to widen a bit. So you're not able to fully stand up, but you have a little more room.
Yeah.
You crawl a little bit farther, and then it stops at a grate. You can see the grate up in front of you, about 40 feet. You can see the light of the sun. It kind of illuminates what looks to be like a grassy area in front of you.
Huh. Is that... Does it look like it's on the outside of the wall?
It does. But you're about 30 feet away from the grate right now. But you can see a grassy expanse. You can see the light shining down. And you can't see anything past, which, like, your vision doesn't go past what's on the other side of the grassy expanse. But
Why is the grate 30 feet away from me?
you want to go up to the grate?
Yes.
Make a stealth check.
Oh no. Oh no.
18's good. You slowly approach the grate because you're not sure what's on the other side. As you get closer, you can hear heavy footsteps. When you get closer, and you can see that the grassy area is a little more muddier than what you originally thought. And you look through the grate. You look up at the first floor of the burgomaster's home. And you see a couple Sanguis guards walk by on patrol.
What type of room does this look like?
It looks like you're outside of. There's a small stables on the left. You can hear a couple Nevermore steed horses, the same as Silas. You see a couple guards walk through the front, like they're walking around the burgomaster's house, keeping patrol.
Okay. Then I'll head back.
Good.
And I would leave.
Slowly turn and go down the corridor. You get back to that hole in the ground. You look down and you see this large lizard-like tail reach up and slide under. All you see is the back end of this tail. It goes. Looks like the back of a dragon's tail, almost 10 feet long. Slide under the hole. You slowly crawl over the hole. On your belly.
Slide over the hole?
You
The bottom?
you slide over the hole to get across it. Because so you're going through the cavern and then there's the hole. So when you're getting up to it to go over it, you look down and you can see the tail, and then you go over the hole to get out to the other side.
Okay.
So you traveled almost 400 feet total, and then you get back, and then you squeeze out of that little hole, and then you're back on the coastline where you started.
I would like to make my way up onto solid ground somehow, swimming, and make my way back to Vindsvept.
Okay, he's still chained up on the side.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, good.
And when you get
Then-
closer to him, he looks angry but happy. He's mad because you left him, but he's happy to see you.
Hey, Vincent. All right, let's go back to the inn. All right, and I'll go back to the inn.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Unless Silas really wants to, I'm good with going.
Lucan's next. Okay.
Okay, so there's two main things that I want to do over the next 5 or 6 days.
Okay.
First one's pretty simple. Giles and I suppose Yuska's joining us, or at least he's branching out and doing portions of it as well. We're basically going kind of like underground market style of like getting small groups of people, no more than like 15's probably pushing it, and then basically inside of these houses where they meet up, talking about the rebellion, how we have the military coming in from the west, and then talking about how like Rezmir is going to like protect us all, and basically trying to convert people while also having them join our side is the main thing that I'll be doing.
Okay. Make 6 days. Give me 3 persuasion checks and 3 religion checks. Persuasion to see if they respond to the army, and then religion to see if they respond to Rezmir.
Okay. So I'll do the persuasions first.
Okay. Make 2 with advantage because Yuska's there. Oh, okay. So
Okay.
yeah, that's good rolls.
Yeah. So I guess it doesn't really matter which 2 I take with advantage, because I mean, I guess the first, I don't know. I guess I would do the first 2, because I was gonna do the next 2 religious ones. I was gonna use my advantages on the first 2 of the 3 rolls as well.
Cool.
So I'm using my inspiration from the earlier sessions, and then I'm using my human trait to get advantage on the second of the 3.
Okay. Okay. So you,
Yeah.
over,
Go ahead, sorry.
over 6 days, with Giles at your side and sometimes Yuska, the townsfolk are anxious and excited, a little fearful, but this is the first time in their lifetime that they've actually had a chance to maybe rebel. And hearing your guys' plan, seeing Giles, seeing Yuska, you could see that they're on board, they're ready to go. They're spreading the word amongst themselves, and it just spreads like wildfire. Almost on the 5th and 6th day, as you're getting people together, they're already asking you questions, kind of like they know what's happening. On the first 2 days of your religious talk, questions start to come in about, is there going to be a church at Rezmir? What exactly is light and law? How can they reach out? Are you going to be having sermons? Are you going to be speaking to them? You can see that there's this almost like a fervor from the first couple groups that they look like they wanted to learn how to be initiates, how to join Lantern Priests. They want to learn more about what this god really means. Because for the most part, a lot of them seem like they've never heard of him before. They're so out of the outside world, but
yeah, I mean, they're definitely, Lucan would say that there would be a church built in the city, probably in the nobleman's district, because the idea, he would imagine the idea of them being able to actually cross the bridge safely to get to the more expensive part of the city would be like a nice extra little push. And then, yeah, saying that there'd be sermons and basically saying all the right things, and explaining Rezmir.
a lot of questions are, if accepting light and law into the city, does that mean that it burns away the hanged men and the sanguis?
He would say that the hanged men, he would do everything he can in order to get them out of the city. Basically guaranteeing they're going to leave, even if he doesn't want to say it necessarily. And then sanguis, he would basically say that the plan is not to have them completely leave the city, but for them to understand that they're equals and no longer leaders. And that they're going to be equal citizens with them. So they don't have to worry about being drank from. Also, he would bring up that Sylvia and Lucan's promise of anyone who believes in Resmir would not be subject to any form of tax in the future.
I did say that.
Roll.
You did.
Roll a
But then I became evil.
Roll a percentile dice. Roll D100.
Ooh.
27. Okay.
I hope that's good.
Okay. On the 6th day, as you start to return to the inn for like as night comes and you're on your you finish talking to these groups for over this long period of time. It's almost like Echo is almost like brighter, like he's floating alongside you. Like he's not actually floating, but just the sense of him is like you can feel his presence is very much more like grandeur, I guess is the word. But
Awesome. Yeah, and probably about halfway into the week, there is a discussion I'd like to have with Giles, and if that's okay as well.
Okay. You want to get him at the inn, like while you're walking privately, or?
Yeah, it's a discussion with just
Giles.
Lucan and Giles.
Okay.
Yuska's not a part of it.
Sure. See, grab him, pull him aside. Just the two of you are there.
Giles, I'm not sure how much of the city you know, but I was curious if you know by chance how Ferrand and Captain Rorth get their blood. Do they have special people that they bring in every day?
They usually get first picks at the market when people are brought in from the other cities, other tradesmen. They usually take what they want first and then put the rest up on display.
And does this happen every day?
Or like once every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. They keep the bodies in their quarters alive but bleeding. They only take the youngest, most pure.
So I suppose my next question then would be, what's the likelihood that this week that will be happening? Before we attempt to take the city, that is.
See here. So you'd asked him this like halfway through the week? So he would have said,
Yeah, day 2 or 3.
I think in the next couple days they should be getting another shipment that's going to be paraded around. Why?
Is there any way that you can skew who they pick?
I can't get close as a human. You're going to need the help of a sanguis to do something like that. Someone that can get closer in their territory.
Do you know anyone like that?
The only sanguis that I've very spoken to is Zoo down in his alchemist library, but it's better. It's better for me to walk in the shadows here than to be known.
No, of course. I didn't expect you to have the answers for everything. But if you'd be able to take me to him, I have some requests, I suppose, then, if that is possible.
He's going to take you to the alchemist?
Yeah.
Cool. Sure. So he takes you to the same small shack that Sylvia saw, pushes out the bookcase, and you walk down the bookcase into this alchemist's lair. There he sits in his chair, his long fingers in front of you just slowly, and he peers forward as he looks at you. And then you see that large heart also on his desk just throbbing. Yes?
Zautek, it is an honor to meet you. I've heard quite a lot of things about you in the last couple days.
You're one of Von Lishkin's daughter's followers.
Not a follower. Allies.
Oh, pardon me. What can I do for you?
I have a request, and I was hoping that you'd be able to help.
Do tell.
From what I understand, both Ferrand and Rorth take specific individuals about every 2 weeks or so to drink from. I was wondering if you'd be able to organize who they'd be picking.
Organize.
I want a particular individual to be picked.
Oh, she lost internet. Dang, that sucks.
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt here.
We could try to skew. Pardon my term, but the cattle when they come in. Farand much prefers very young women. Rorth prefers very young, able-bodied men.
All right. Well, Farand seems bigger of a threat to me than Rorth. No, I take that back. I think Rorth would be the bigger threat between the two of them. Farand seems to be cooped up more than anything. Would I be incorrect in assuming that Rorth actually rules the city and Farand is more so just there?
That is a good assumption, yes. He is, he thinks he rules, but he's very absent. Very easily persuaded.
Alright. Would you be able to sway them to pick a very particular individual?
I can certainly try.
What's this likelihood of success? Because I don't want to make a deal if my end of the bargain doesn't happen.
For On to be much easier than Rorth, because it is much easier to pull out the younger women than it is the younger men. But as long as we can make sure that not every body that is paraded here for market is of his choice, it's much easier to have just one or two in the group that he will select.
Very well. Farand is not as much of a threat. I believe Sylvia already has plans for him. I'd like to try and get Rorth.
That would be much more difficult, but that everything is impossible. What are you planning to do?
This individual that's selected before they are taken and Rorth has his way, I want this individual to ingest this. And I'm going to pull out a green vial and hand it over to Zautek. The city will fall without any issues if their actual leadership is dead before the fight starts.
There is a chance that we might be able to have him consume this after being chosen.
As long as it's before Rorth has his way. And preferably no one else but Rorth.
This is difficult. What do you offer in return for this?
I don't have much myself right now, but you seem like a man of intellect and want of power. Perhaps once this city has been taken over, you can get sway and some rulings made in the city. Unless you have something else in mind.
I do. And he slides a contract on the paper. He slides a piece of paper towards you. He holds up a quill. He starts to write.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if the quill, the ink is magical and then you've binding way?
Sure. 5? You would know that's being written in Devil's Blood. He just went sideways.
Cool.
He writes on it. For the poisoning of Rorth, with this vial given to Lucan by Zautek. In return, once the new regime has taken the city, Zautek will be left alone to his own devices. No matter what is chosen. He slides it towards you. I will be left alone to do as I please in my home.
Lucan will take a couple moments, and we'll eventually sign.
Does he sign? He holds out his long, bony hands for the vial.
And I will hand it over.
Okay. This is my secret roll to see. Okay. So you won't know if he's like ingested this vial until like he either like fights you guys and he's cool, or he just fights you guys and he just falls over dead. Which is both is possible, but gotcha. It's a good idea.
Awesome. Awesome.
It is a pleasure to have signed this contract with you.
Well, with Resmer lighting the way, I'm sure we'll both get what we want. And at that time, Lucan will bow and then eventually leave.
We're all screwed by signing these contracts.
So you walk out to Giles. Giles pushes the bookcase open. As you walk out, he closes the bookcase behind you. So that leaves Silas. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Go pay a visit to my friend at the stable.
Okay. Sure. So you make your way to the stable. You see the same elf hating everything that he's doing but tending to the steeds. And as you walk up, he acknowledges you're there, but he's not very friendly. You're back again.
I'd like to see if you're interested in a proposition, or if you would know anything about any singles that don't like the current regime.
Well, many don't care for Farand, but many do care that they are fed. There are whispers here and there, but I think the ones that despise Von Lishkin the most are the ones that hang from the trees and think they are reborn.
I figured as much. Do you know any other of your kind around that would join in the group to revolt?
Make a persuasion check. He motions for you to come inside. This is because you crit. Motions you to come inside. And as you walk inside, there's a large noose on his desk. I do. For I am reborn. I was once, like yourself, full of thirst. And El Terrell sought to put me in the body of his children. Here I am. We all have waited for someone to come that will speak of rebellion and whispers, and though I know that these are just whispers, I am not a fool, and not all humans are quiet. I know something is going on. So what is it? Why have you come here?
You have plans for outside on the walls, and some plans for inside to distract what we can for Sangus forces to eliminate the leaders here.
When you eliminate these leaders, who becomes the new noble of Nova Vaasi?
It will not be a noble per se.
Free reign. To do as we please.
More cooperative governments.
And our people would be able to worship who we wish, when we wish, how we wish. As long as we help you take the city.
As long as everything is respected, yes.
Then the Hanged Ones will assist you. Do you know when this will take place?
Approximately 6 days.
Do you want to hang from the tree and be reborn?
Not yet.
After we take the city.
We'll discuss later.
He reaches out his hand to shake your hand.
I'll shake it.
Let us know what is needed before the time comes, and we will do what we can once we see the forces attack.
Alright.
Then maybe one day you will be reborn alongside us. You will be called brother.
Let's see.
Is there anything else you want to do?
I kind of wanted to scope out the other stable on the Nova side, just to kind of see what was all going up and around there.
Okay. So the noble stable up by the burgomaster's home, by the barracks. It's pure Nevermore steeds. It's much similar to your own. You also noticed that you came up this way that there is a larger presence of Sanguis Guard here than before. You can see that they're preparing for this tax collectors to come. But it is a when you get to the noble side, it's pure Sanguis. Most of them wear noble robes. They're very exquisite. You can tell this is a very rich populace up in this area. But you blend in with the other Sanguis guards for the most part, so you freely walk among them, and some of them even give you nods and greet you as you walk through.
What was it, number 3 again?
3 is the burgomaster's home. That elf that that knocked up the thing.
Yep. And 5 was an inn.
Yeah, 5's the drunken spider. 6 is the stables. 4 is one's the 7's the barracks up in the corner there.
Oh, it's the 7. Okay.
Yeah, and then 4 is looks like a shop, like just a small like apothecary.
Okay.
They're going about their daily lives. And when you go up there on the 6th day, you can see they're starting to march in some of the humans from the north and taking them to the market, starting to string them up so they can be sold and bled.
Actually, I wouldn't mind finding, just on the side note, because apparently I have 3 long swords on me.
Oh, you want to sell?
Those.
You want to sell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to do for you, especially up here. So to sell 3 long swords to get some coin. I'll give you a price here as soon as it loads. Longsword. 15 gold each. So you can sell them for 45 gold.
Alright.
So you sell a couple long swords to the blacksmith.
We'll wander to the apothecary and see kind of what they have in stock.
Welcome to the apothecary. It's an older sanguis man, but even though older, he still looks pure for the most part. He's not super wrinkly or anything like that, but there's potions that line the walls. There's different spell materials. A lot of strange things in jars and vials like bat wings and guano, the likes. But he does sell potions.
What sort of healing potions do we have?
So if you want to buy a potion of healing, those go for 50 gold each. Do you want to buy a potion?
No, hold off on that.
Okay. Then he has a couple scrolls. You can buy any common cantrip scroll from him for 50 gold, or you can buy any first level spell from him for 100 gold.
Okay. So can't like scrolls and stuff like that, I guess, since I'm not really a magical user.
You had to buy them for like Lucan or Yuska or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But you could buy them for him if they wanted it.
Yeah. Alright. Actually, since I still have, probably, there's really only a day to do the one thing, or a few days to do these. I wouldn't mind walking to the theater near the end and kind of go there and screw around again.
Okay. Do you want to pay the money to go through the theater?
Yeah, might as well. It's only gold.
So it is an experience for you. Going through the theater, the same crazy people are there as you walk inside.
They were all sanguis in here, weren't they?
Yeah, all sanguis.
Yeah.
So going into the theater, you remember in the top corner here, Chelman is the ticket salesman.
Mm-hmm.
And he's human dressed in the very high collar and high adorned ceremonial robes. It's almost comical. There's that infernal display behind him with different things like Fishni pin feathers and rock spores and Nabasu wings, all this weird demonic stuff. And then there's the bar. But when you go inside, they come up to you and it's almost like an over display, and they ask if you want to buy a ticket and go upstairs and go through this mechanicalized chamber. And as they do, on this north wall here, it opens up and shoots out 4 different sanguis people, and behind them you can see brimstone and fires spread up behind them, and they pop out laughing, and they go up to the bar and order a drink.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an amusement ride.
Yeah. I'll go through it.
Okay. So because it's 10:30, and because to go through it takes a little bit of time, I'll take you through it next week so you can see it, because it's pretty cool. Just so I don't burn you guys out before the day ends. So as you guys have made your preparations, Is there anything you guys want to talk about as a group before next week's combat?
I'm gonna take the item.
You're gonna get it? Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it.
Terrifying.
I'll do the surgery with you next week too. That's gonna be great.
I think Ike is gonna have to explore a tunnel that everyone can go through.
Okay. Maybe the bigger one above.
Yeah.
This might end up being another episode of you guys preparing for the army next week.
I think it'll be like half and half. Depending on how much stuff Yusuke wants to do.
Yeah, I'm happy with everything I did went how I wanted, so.
Yeah, me too. Rolling a 20 on a...
Man, like, Ross should just not show up more often.
Everyone rolled really well tonight.
Yeah, we rolled. Watch, we're gonna roll all ones next session, and we're gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, we had like what four nat 20s this session, which means we're gonna have at least 4 nat 1s.
Get this.
And we were just rolling high in general.
Yeah, we were.
It was a nice change of pace. We're only cursed when it comes to combat, apparently.
So you have the hanged men are going to help you in the battle. The Sightless Seer's army, 1 and 2. 1 is the guards and 2 is the elves. The Nova Vaasi commoners. And then the Zilri and her were-rats. It's a good group. And I'll give you... What was that?
What does the group think that lizard thing was in the sewers?
Nothing that I want to worry about right now.
Yeah, it can't be a dragon. I'm sure we'd see a dragon.
Oh,
maybe like a
what if
basilisk
it's one of
or something?
Those no.
It's a sewer crocodile.
Resrika. So you'll have unit cards, so you guys can see what the unit cards are, and then divide up. Remember, each person can control 1 card during combat once you actually engage the war.
It's Bedoma.
It's Bedoma. And then we'll do the surgery and then the theater. If y'all want to go through theater, you could just before it happens, like as a group, as a bonding group thing. Go through the theater in Fernalis
One last time.
before it gets blown up or something.
Either way, I'm joining Sylvia in her surgery.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm gonna take Lucan with me.
Well, sweet. So next week's gonna be a doozy. It'll be a little bit RP, and then probably a big old war battle starting. The battle might take 2 days or 2 games, depending on how late it starts. It is a boss fight.
I expect that.
I mean, once you get to the boss, whichever boss may be, it's difficult. It's a boss fight, so be prepared when it comes.
It's okay if I die. I have 2 other characters.
Oh, me and Lucan die. We're gonna be Ghelfi together.
Oh, please. I'm down for that.
The Bugman. Say thanks for watching, everybody.
Bug is a dead bug.
See ya.
If you like what you see, hit that follow button. We'll be back on Thursday at 7. If you missed anything you want to catch up, it'll be on YouTube in a couple days. Guys, have a good night. Enjoy the quarantine. And we'll see you on Thursday. Night.
Night.
Bye.
Hold on.
Oh boy.
Can't believe Giles couldn't do my own task for me and freaking make me sign a piece of paper that I know I'm gonna regret at some point.
I mean, I did the same thing.
It's only devil's blood.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, as long as he's not like eating humans like excessively, I'm sure it'll be okay.
Here's the heart. I'll have a card made for it. Once he gets to set it.
Is that the one from his page? Because I just looked at that and there's like a lot of. I assume that you changed it.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. Just a couple little tweaks.